bò mí o ìwájú lọ́lọ́kọ̀ ìwà mi lọ ẹ̀yìn kan lọ́lọ́kọ̀ ìwà mi lọ èmi ti mọ̀ mo ti mọ̀ mo ti mọ̀ mo ti mọ̀ yẹ́rọ èmi ti mọ̀ mo ti mọ̀ mo ti mọ̀ mo ti mọ̀ yẹ́rọ oyè mi oyè yẹ o ti yẹ gbogbo wa sí ni oyè mi oyè yẹ o ti yẹ gbogbo wa sí ni bó ti yẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ ló tún yé mi rọjà rere bó ti yé wa bẹ́ẹ̀ ló yé gbogbo wọn lọ́wọ́ torí bàbá ń kí bó má lọ má lọ. ìyá ń kí bó má lọ má lọ. àwa ò lè ṣòkè wa má má lọ ní. àwa ò lè ṣòkè wa má má lọ. iṣẹ́ ayé wa làwa ń wá kiri ẹ̀rọ ojúráyé tàbẹ́ orí ibi wọ́n fojú sí lọ́nà òpábẹ́. jẹ́ kí babaláwo wọn kó sí mi lálẹ́. nítorí àwa. torí ra wa torí ra wa. wọ́n máa gbé bọ́ wọn ní òwò lágànjọ́ òru sà. torí àwa. torí ra wa torí ra wa.
ẹni tọdún babaláyé kó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa dúpẹ́ o ẹni tọdún babaláyé kó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa yọ̀ ẹni tọdún babaláyé kó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa dúpẹ́ o ẹni tọdún babaláyé kó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa yọ̀. ọ̀pọ̀ òjò ló ti rọ̀ ó sì ti fà mú ó yẹ ká wà lókù sẹ́yìn kábọ̀ pẹ́ fi ìfolú ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé kó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa dúpẹ́ o ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé kó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa yọ̀ ẹni tọdún bàbá níbí kó máa dúpẹ́ àní kó sọpẹ́ o ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé kó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa yọ̀ ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé ó yẹ kó ronú àní kó sọpẹ́ o ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé kó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa yọ̀ ó bàbá ẹ̀ láyé ó yẹ kó dúpẹ́ bí ó pẹ́ fẹ́lẹ́ dùà ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé ó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa yọ̀ kóró fẹ́lẹ́ ayé gbẹ̀sọ̀ ó yẹ kí a máa ṣe pẹ̀lẹ́ kájọ ṣe o kájọ ṣe o ilé ayé sọ wá ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé ó máa dúpẹ́ ó máa dúpẹ́ o ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé ó yá dúpẹ́ kó máa yọ̀. ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé ó máa dúpẹ́ àmọ́ kó ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé ó yá dúpẹ́ kó máa yọ̀ ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé kó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa dúpẹ́ ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé kó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa yọ̀. Àwọn mẹ́ni tó ń bá wa yọ̀ ó yẹ ká máa ṣe pẹ̀lẹ́ ká rọra o ká rọra o ilé ayé sọ wá ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé ó dúpẹ́ kó máa dúpẹ́ o ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé ó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa yọ̀ ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé ó máa dúpẹ́ ó máa dúpẹ́ ẹni tọdún bàbá láyé ó máa dúpẹ́ kó máa yọ̀. ọdún ọdún yáyàbò ọdún ọdún yíyá mèrèǹgèrè pèrègèdè láòyè ọdún ọdún yíyàbò ọdún yíyá mèrèǹgèrè pèrègèdè bàbá ni pèrègèdè láòyè pèrègèdè láòyè ọdún ọdún yíyàbò ọdún ọdún yíyá mèrèǹgèrè pèrègèdè láòyè. Olúwa máa jẹ́ àtọrọ jẹ, Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́ àgbàwọ̀n ẹ̀bà, pèrègèdè ní. Millennium year yàbò fún wa. Ọdún ọdún yíya mèrègèdè. Mèrègèdè la ó yè. Mèrègèdè la ó yè. Mèrègèdè màmá ní. Ọdún ọdún yíya yà ó ní. Ọdún ọdún yíya mèrègèdè. Mèrègèdè màmá ní. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ àjẹun ọ̀tá. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ àkójọbọ̀. Mèrègèdè la ó yè. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ àtọrọ. Ká má máa wọ̀jọ̀gbọ̀ lọ́dún titun. Mèrègèdè màmá ní. Mèrègèdè la ó yè. Mèrègèdè la ó yè. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ àtọrọ. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ àgbà àwọn ẹ̀bà. Mèrègèdè la ó yè. Orí mi máa jẹ tọrọ jẹ, orí yẹn máa jẹ ó gbà mú ẹ bá. Mèrègèdè bàbá ní. Ọlọ́run máa jẹ tọrọ náà. Olúwa máa jẹ àgbàwé lọ́dún titun. Mèrègèdè bàbá ní. Mèrègèdè la ó yè. Mèrègèdè la ó yè. Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́ àtọrọ. Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́ àrìn gbogbo. Mèrègèdè la ó yè. A ò ní gbọ́mọ sí. Olúwa máa jẹ́ àṣọ̀fọ̀. Mèrègèdè màmá ní. O ò ní sunkún aya rẹ̀. Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́ òwò ìwọ̀ ọ̀fọ̀. Mèrègèdè màmá ní. O ò ní sunkún ọkọ rẹ̀. Olúwa máa jẹ́ òwò ìwọ̀ ọ̀fọ̀. Mèrègèdè màmá ní. Mèrègèdè la ó yè. Mèrègèdè la ó yè. Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́ tọrọ. Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́ àgbàwé àmàlà. Mèrègèdè la ó yè. Orí mi máa jẹ́ tọrọ. Orí mi máa jẹ́ àgbàwé. Mèrègèdè màmá ní. Ọdún ire wọlé, ire gbogbo ti dé. Ire gbogbo wọlé, ire ọmọ wọlé. Ọdún ayọ̀ lọ́dún yìí o. Ire gbogbo màmá ní. Ire gbogbo ti dé. Ire ọlá wọlé. Ire ọmọ wọlé. Ire owó wọlé. Ọdún ayọ̀ lọ́dún yìí o. Ire gbogbo màmá ní. Ọdún ayọ̀ lọ́dún yìí o. Jésù. Ire gbogbo màmá ní.
àṣẹ.
Ire gbogbo wọlé, ire ọlá wọlé, ire owó wọlé oye, ire ọmọ wọlé, ire àìkú wọlé, ire gbogbo dìde, ọdún ayọ̀ lọ́dún yìí o, ire gbogbo màmá ní. Ọdún ayọ̀ lọ́dún yìí o, ire gbogbo dìde. Ọdún ayọ̀ lọ́dún yìí o, ire gbogbo màmá ní. Ọdún ayọ̀ lọ́dún yìí o, ire gbogbo dìde. Ọdún ayọ̀ lọ́dún yìí o, ire gbogbo. Lifted, I am lifted, I am lifted by your grace. Above sins and sorrows, to the glorious days above. Lifted, I am lifted, I am lifted by your love. Above sins and sorrows, to the glorious days above. Lifted, I am lifted, I am lifted by your love. For sins and sorrow, to the glorious days above. I am lifted, I am lifted, I am lifted by your grace. Above sins and sorrow, to the glorious days above. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. For the Lord is on the throne. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. We are going higher. We are going higher. For the Lord is on the throne. We are going higher. We are going higher. We are going higher. Lifted, I am lifted. I am lifted by your grace. Above sins and sorrows, to the glorious days above. Lifted, I am lifted by your love. Above sins and sorrow, to the glorious days above. Things are getting better in Nigeria. Things are getting better. For the Lord is on the throne. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Things are getting better in our own country. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. For the Lord is on the throne. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. What shall I render? What shall I render? What shall I render to you, O Lord? I will praise you, O Lord, and shout hallelujah. What shall I render to you, O Lord? What shall I render? What shall I render? What shall I render to you, O Lord? I will praise you, O Lord, and shout hallelujah. What shall I render, my Lord? I render praises, I render praises, I render praises to you, O Lord. I will praise you, O Lord, and shout hallelujah. I render praises to you, O Lord. I render praises, I render praises, I render praises to you, O Lord. I will praise you, O Lord, and shout hallelujah. Render praises to you, O Lord. I render singing, I render singing, I render singing to you, O Lord. I will praise you, O Lord, and shout hallelujah. What shall I render to you, O Lord? Ta ló dàbí Ọlọ́run mi? 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 Ta ló dàbí Ọlọ́run tá a wá sí? Tó ṣèlérí tó mú lérí ṣẹ. Ta ló dàbí Ọlọ́run mi? Ta ló dàbí Ọlọ́run mi? Ta ló dàbí Ọlọ́run tèmi ń sìn? Tó ṣèlérí tó mú lérí ṣẹ. Ta ló dàbí Ọlọ́run mi? Ta ló dàbí Ọlọ́run mi? Ta ló dàbí Ọlọ́run tá a wá sí? Tó ṣèlérí tó mú lérí ṣẹ.
Hello. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. This is the 18th anniversary lecture and the 86th birthday celebration of the founder of West Midlands Communication. His Royal Majesty Oba DEBO Akande, MFR, the Karun Olubadan of the land. And I'm welcoming you very warmly on behalf of the management and the entire director and staff of Splash FM and Lagilu FM to this event. And we thank you for having time to be with us. We're starting right away without wasting any more time. We scheduled this to start at 11 o'clock, and we're starting way behind schedule. We apologize for this. My name is Oluwaseun Akinola, and I'll be the anchor of this event. I'd like you to give yourself a round of applause for being here. Please, let's welcome ourselves. A round of applause for everyone who's been here. Can you jam those hands together as if you're alive? Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm very sure, I'm confident that you're going to be a wonderful audience at this event today. So welcome. We will crave your indulgence to please rise as we take the national anthem and the Ibadan anthem back to back. And we'll take that when we are done with the national anthem, and then we'll do the opening prayers. Please, let's rise.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians home and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace or battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hang on to our children a banner without stain. Oh God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed. And so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá. Ipò aṣíwájú l'Ẹlẹ́dùmarè fún wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe gírí, ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ ká tẹpá wa mọ́ṣẹ́. Ká bára wa sọ̀rọ̀, ká sòdodo, ká ṣòótọ́ tó dára. Nígbà gbogbo, níbi gbogbo, fòpinlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Onírẹ̀yìn o, lójú mi, onírẹ̀yìn o. Onírẹ̀yìn o, nígbà tèmi, onírẹ̀yìn o. Èmi aṣòótọ́ tó dára. Nígbà gbogbo, níbi gbogbo, fòpinlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá. Aṣíwájú ni wá.
Are you not proud of Oyo State? Please, a round of applause for Oyo State, please. A round of applause for Oyo State. Please, let's clap very well for Oyo State. Thank you. Please be seated. You know, anytime I listen to that song, anytime whatever I listen to that song, I'm really proud of this state, Oyo State. It's a pace-setter state, and we thank the Almighty for making it great for us. So welcome once again. This is the 18th anniversary lecture of the Splash FM and the 86th birthday celebration of our dear founder. And we thank you for gracing the occasion. Quickly, I'd like to invite you. Graciously, I'm happy to tell you that the the lecturer, the man who's going to give us the lecture for today. He's in the building, he's already here, and he came in very early. I mean, when I met him, he said, you asked us to come early, and I said, we appreciate him for coming early. And please, let's put our hands together and a round of applause for our guest lecturer for coming early. Thank you very much. And he's also here with his amiable wife. Thank you very much. I'll introduce them in due course. However, the chairman of this occasion, this is also very rare. I mean, to have your chairman come in before the event will even start. And so we are happy to have our chairman of the occasion right here in our midst. And I'm going to quickly bring him up here to sit, and also the other dignitaries that are coming to be sitting here in this event. It's an academic exercise. I'd like you to know that. Also, we want to make it as quick as possible without wasting any time. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome the chairman of our 18th anniversary annual lecture and the 86th birthday celebration of our founder here. As one man, as long as I have known this lecture, as long as I've been attending this lecture since I've been here, he has always attended this event. I've not seen one that he had missed so far that I've seen him. As the chairman of Lee City University, and also we want to welcome him very much here, a distinguished academic, an administrator, and let's welcome a friend of the house, Professor Jide Owueye is right here in our midst. Please put your hands together, clap, and clap very well until Prof gets here. Please, Prof. Yes, and it's what, Madam, Mommy, please just join Prof. Please keep clapping. His amiable wife is also here. I'd like both of them to just join us here. Please keep clapping. Don't be stingy with your clap. Thank you. Sustain it. Sustain it. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you very much. So, Professor Jide Owueye and his wife, both of them, we're happy to have them join us here on this occasion. Thank you so much for coming, and welcome right here. I'd like to also welcome a very distinguished personality in our midst with a royal blessing. I'm sure you can see in this entire hall that Oba Alade Mbela Ariwa Beni. Wọ́n ní kí n kí Ọba Aládé tí wọ́n ti wà láàrin wa ní ìsìn kí n sì kí wọ́n káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí. Bàbá wa tó jẹ́ wípé kò sígbà tí wọ́n wá sí ibi ìpàdé yìí, ọdọọdún ni wọ́n máa ń wá. Ó dàbí pé lọ́dún yìí bàbá ò wá fún ara wọn, ṣùgbọ́n a rí wọn pé wọ́n rán èèyàn wá sí àárín wa. I'd like to welcome the Ọ̀tún Olúbàdàn designate, His Royal Majesty Kábíyèsí Ọba Ẹ̀dí Oyèwọlé in our midst. Ẹ bá ń ṣe kábíyèsí fún bàbá o. Kábíyèsí o. Is represented in our midst by Àrẹ̀mọ Kúnlé Oyèwọlé. Please, can you keep clapping until Àrẹ̀mọ steps up there? That's Àrẹ̀mọ representing His Royal Majesty Ọba Ẹ̀dí Oyèwọlé, the Ọ̀tún Olúbàdàn designate, and he's coming up. Ẹ bá ń pàtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn díẹ̀ sí ẹ dákun torí Ọlọ́run. Thank you for coming, sir. Right. Let me also welcome someone who also have been very consistent with this lecture. I know her, and she's always here all the time. I'm sure for those of us that grew up in this city of Ibadan, we cannot miss it. When you hear Bola Immaculate, you don't miss that. Let me welcome very warmly Chief Mrs. Bola Doherty. She never missed this event. Please, a round of applause for her as she is coming up here. And thank you very much, Ma, for coming. And as I'm ushering her in here, please, if you look at your left, the Kábíyèsí, Ẹ̀karùn Olúbàdàn ti wọlé o. Ẹ̀karùn Olúbàdàn ti wọlé o. Ẹ̀karùn Olúbàdàn ti wọlé. Ẹ bá ń ṣe kábíyèsí fún bàbá o. Kábíyèsí o. As the chairman and founder of West Midlands Communication, owners of Splash FM and Lagelu FM Ibadan. Splash FM Ibadan, Lagelu FM Ibadan, and Splash FM Abeokuta, His Royal Majesty Ọba Murtala Adébáyọ̀ Akande, MFR. Ẹ bá ń pàtẹ́wọ́ fún kábíyèsí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ẹ bá ń pàtẹ́wọ́ fún kábíyèsí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Bàbá tí wọ́n kó wa jọ ní àwọn ni wọ́n jẹ́ kébi ó pa àwa. Thank you very much, Kábíyèsí. All right, please, shall we welcome them again? Welcome, sir. Ibi gẹrẹjẹ ńlá bàgbà. Àwọn bàbá tí wọ́n jẹ́ kí àgbà ohun ní dàrí. Welcome, sir. Mo fẹ́ kí wọ́n jókòó káwa náà tó jókòó ni o, ká ṣe kábíyèsí fún wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Welcome, Kábíyèsí. Welcome, Kábíyèsí. Welcome, Kábíyèsí. Shall we put a hand of applause for Kábíyèsí once again? Ẹ jẹ́ ṣe Kábíyèsí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí o. Kábíyèsí o. Lágbára Ọlọ́run kò ní bàjẹ́. Lágbára Ọlọ́run. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sà. Welcome. Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. Now, the next thing I want to do is to invite the guest lecturer up here. And I'm told that just bring him up so that he can come sit at the proper place. He's a distinguished international development leader with over 20 years of strategic leadership experience. And he leads the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, management globally. He's currently here in Oyo State as a senior member of the cabinet in Oyo State. But you're going to get to know about his profile very much well when the time comes. But let me welcome the distinguished lecturer for this 18th anniversary lecture, Dr. DEBO Akande, and his beautiful wife as they rise and come to sit, at their proper place. Please keep the applause resounding, please. That is the Executive Advisor on International Development and Cooperation for the Oyo State Governor. Welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. All right, so that's the lecturer at this time is here. We'll welcome more guests. I know that I have more people that I want to recognize. A lot of friends of the house who, so that we can welcome them because of time. We'll move on to something also very important here. Now, I don't know how many of you are aware that our founder, DEBO Akande, is a lover of education. And one of the things he had done for us is that we teach the next generation of broadcasters. And that is coming from his long life ambition of raising generation of scholars. And that manifested in Splash Media Academy. And in Splash Media Academy, we have trained a lot of people who are onboarded broadcasters as of today. And we want to showcase a few of them to you, and they have something very great to show us at this event today. And so I'd like to tell you that we have one of them who had graduated from our institution. Is Abdul Qadri Adirogba. And he said he had done something for us where he wanted to celebrate the 18th anniversary. Can you put your hands together for Abdul Qadri Adirogba, who had done a poem for our 18th anniversary? DJ AY, can we have it?
The splash that sparked a revolution. A tribute to Splash FM 105.5 Ibadan, the integrity station, written and voiced by Abdul Qadri Adirogba. In an era of relentless innovation, where technology raced ahead, dazzling yet detached, one medium endured, not fleeting, not fading, but firm, far-reaching and fiercely unbroken. Radio. A voice, a bridge, a revolution in sound, not just waves on the air, but pathways to the unheard, connecting like spokes of a wheel, unveiling access like a beam of light, opening doors that once stood sealed, a long-sought connection glimpsed in a twinkle. But what use is a bridge when voices are caged? What good is a path when truth cannot travel? A time of silence, of stifled cries, of stories bound and wings split, truth restless yet restrained, tears once hopeful now drained of smiles, a rising storm of yearning voices, masses crying out yet unheard, a storm of voices lost in mist. Then change arrived, not as a whisper, but as a wave. In the heart of Ibadan, a force took form. A station rose, cutting through the silence. Its frequency, a beacon of clarity, courage, and truth. Then came a day etched in sound and time. March 22nd, 2007, when silence shattered and legacy began. Splash FM emerged, the integrity station. Before misinformation and disinformation could spread, it defeated them with integrity. Before dawn stared and stretched across the city. Before voices rose in markets and parks. Even before their van was called. Even before the cock crowd. There was a rhythm, a pulse, a presence that scared. It was Morning Splash starting the conversation. Splash FM, more than a station, more than a signal, not just waves in the wind, but a current of courage where truth begins, a breeze that blows goodness all around. Like the sun, it guides towards greatness. Like the full moon, it illuminates the path. Like the unbound wind, blowing in all directions, its guidance knows no boundary, free-flowing, far and fast spreading. From Agudi to Dugbe, Bodija to Ojaba, from Abata to Abete, from Okeado to Okebadan, and from Ibadan to the corners of the southwest and afar. Its voice does not falter, its message does not wane, it echoes, it captivates, it sings like a mantra. For every voice unheard, it is a home. For every truth buried, it is a stone. For every cry for justice, it is a megaphone. For the nation, it is a beacon of hope. Splash FM beats with the heart of time. It is a laughter at dawn, wisdom at night, a light that soars above, steady and bright. The Messiah of radio, the station of the hour, not just a station. No, it is more. It is the keeper of integrity, a guardian of truth, a preserver of values. At first, Ibadan was silent, waiting, hoping. Then 105.5 did not just flash, it splashed, shaping the talking point.
So that's Abdul Qadri Adirogba there with a beautiful poem for Splash FM at 18. And I have one more before I go back to the order of the program. Before I call the other two who are coming up to do their own presentation from the Splash Academy, I'd like to welcome someone very special. I didn't know how I didn't cite her as she came in. She is ever young, an octogenarian who is ever young, beautiful, elegant, amiable, so special. Just let's welcome a two-time minister in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. She's an accountant, an industrialist. She's a woman of virtue, a woman of timber and caliber, if you like, a former president of Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and no other than Mama Chief Mrs. Onikepo Akande, O-O-N-C-O-N, the wife of our founder. Kabisima, welcome, ma. Thank you very much. So the next point for me is to invite two other people from our Splash Media Academy who are going to give us the chanting here. I have Anike Akewi and Olajide Oluwabanwo. Both of them are stepping up right now for their presentation. Oh yeah, Anike ati Olajide Oluwabanwo inda.
Ìbálòdé tó ní o. Àníkẹ́ Adémojúbà ọba Júnilọ. Gbogbo yín pátápátá mo kí n wò lólòdì ẹni kan ṣo ọba tó fún mi lóhùn ẹnu mi. Ẹ rí rokoroko tí ó bá ti rẹ́ni jù bá ẹ pé ó mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ ń roko. Kọrin tí ó bá ti rẹ́ni jù bá ẹ pé ó mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ kọrin. Èmi Àníkẹ́ Túndé bí alára àgbà yìí dá. Àníkẹ́ pé mojúbà gbogbo Àjùní pátápátá porogodo. Tó bá ní kí ló gbé mi délẹ̀ yìí ọmọ arégún sí mọ gágáré lé ọkọ. Torí ọba Adébáyọ̀ Múrítàlá Àkàndé MFR náà ni. Ẹ rí àti búra ká lè pàdé ọjọ́ pẹ́. Àgàgà pàdé. Mo lọ wá kú ẹni tó máa gbà yín lọ́wọ́ mi gangan. Ẹ bá mi pé bóyá orí rẹ̀ á dìde. Àkàndé. Àkàndé o, ọba Adébáyọ̀ o. Àní ẹ bá mi pé, ẹ bá mi pé, ẹ bá mi pé bóyá orí rẹ̀ á dìde. Àkàndé, Àkàndé o, ọba Adébáyọ̀ o. Ọba Adébáyọ̀ Múrítàlá Àkàndé MFR. Mo lé ti ṣọdún èyí orí ajé ṣe tẹ̀ mí tìrẹ gbogbo. Ẹ má ṣe bínú pé mo bá yín lóye mo pé yín lórúkọ orúkọ là ń pe gbogbo ládéládé orúkọ là ń pe gbogbo lóyè lóyè. Ẹni mọ̀ bànújẹ́ ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ mọ̀mọ́ ní tẹ̀yìn ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo tí wọ́n ń pa yín lẹ́rìn ó wà nípa yín lẹ́kún láṣẹ Elédùmarè ọba aláṣẹ àtolùdarí West Midland. Irinṣẹ́ yín ò mọ̀mọ́ ní dojújà akọ̀yìn tó bá wọlá Ọlọ́run ọba. Ẹ wá ní rí ń gbé sọnù bí ó ṣe bí ọmọ. Àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ yín ò wá ní yọ sọnù lọ́kọ̀ọ̀kan láṣẹ Elédùmarè ọba. Ẹni tètè kú torí mo rójú ọ̀la lójú ẹ̀yin gangan ni. Ìlọ́wádìílé bàbá tó bí yín lọ́mọ. Ìbàdàn Mẹ́sì ọ̀gọ́ nílé Olúyọ̀lé ó máa jòrò sùn. Ọmọ arólú owó. Ilé sábì ológbòjò ló lẹ́yẹ ọmọ arégún sí mọ gágáré lé ọkọ. Ìbàdàn lú òjò, ìlú Ògúnmọ́lá, ìlú Ìbíkúnlé alágbàlá jáyàjáyà. ìlú Àjàyí Ògìdìolú oníkànga àjípọn, ìlú Látòsà Àṣùbíàró. Ọmọ eégún o, mo lóye òwẹ̀yìn rẹ̀ ò bóyá o lè rí ike ládọjà lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ ọmọ oníkẹ́ ẹ̀yìn gẹ̀dẹ̀. Eégún ló di mẹ́fà ló gbìn ilé, kí ní ṣe tóbìnrin ọ̀máwo, pàkáhùn ló di mẹ́fà nígbà alẹ̀, kí ní ṣe tóbìnrin ọ̀máwo, ẹ̀kún ló ṣe méjì mo lò ó gbogbo ẹ̀ wá wàṣù egungun bó ti lù ká ń lára bí àjèrè. Àkàndé o, ó ti ṣọdún èyí wá tún ṣe tẹ̀mí ìtìrẹ gbogbo nínú owó ńláńlá pẹ̀lú dẹ́ẹ̀ra. Àní kí akéwì lèmi jẹ́ o, èèyàn onímọ̀lẹ́ mi jù mí, ọmọ afẹ́nàpọ̀ ọmọ Ògùn lójú ta ní ìmọ̀lẹ́ bàbá ọmọ jọmọ́ lọ. Olúyọ̀lé ni mí o, Àníkẹ́ ọmọ Ògùn tí ò sinmi ni wọ́n ti bí mi lọ́mọ.
Adébáyọ̀ Àkàndé, tí mo bá ń pè ẹ́ ní méje mẹ́jọ mo fẹ́ kó máa jẹ́ mi. Ṣebí bàbá pọ̀ olórí ajẹ́, olórí ìkọ̀kọ̀ kò gbọ́dọ̀ bẹ̀rù mọ́, olórí kúkú jọ lórí lọ ní. Father of them ni wọ́n ń jẹ́ mọ́ kí okú ìgbádùn okú mú kẹ́kẹ́. Adébáyọ̀ Àkàndé o, má bínú pé mo bẹ́ ẹ lóyè mo pè ẹ́ lórúkọ. Ṣebí orúkọ la fi ń pe ọba ládélé bàbá ńlá tó bí mi lọ́mọ. Ọlẹ́ ò ní rẹ̀yìn rárá bó wọlé Olúwa ò ní ṣìnà. Adébáyọ̀ Àkàndé, àsìkò kò sí rárá, mi ò bá kí ẹ̀dẹ́lẹ̀ bàbá tó bí ọlọ́mọ ni, nítorí wípé Àkàndé àwọn ni igi ọgbà tó di Splash FM àti Lágelúwò. Adébáyọ̀ Àkàndé o, òótọ́ ni wípé àràbà ní bàbá, ìta bábálàbà ò ní bàbá gbogbo wọn. Adébáyọ̀ Àkàndé afẹ́fìtì níbí náà ni, nítorí pé àsìkò kò sí fún wa. Àìmọ̀ tí wọ́n bá bí yín lérè wípé ta ló lórí ire tó kéwì fún Adébáyọ̀ Àkàndé, ká ẹ pé Ọlájídé ni. Ebi lọmọ ọba òrùbà kò yọ ọmọ ọ̀sọ́pọ̀, ebi lọmọ ọ̀sọ́pọ̀ sèrì, tí ọ̀sọ́ bá sèrì kọ́ olókùn àṣẹbọ, ọmọ ọ̀gánjúgbé, ọmọ ṣòbìrìmúdà, ọmọ lábàdàn mátàpẹ́ ní tapátapọ̀ yẹ́wẹ́, ọmọ lágàdé, ọmọ kúgbó ṣẹ́rù. Happy birthday to you Àkàndé, ẹ ṣe ọgọ́rùn-ún láyé, bówọlá Olúwa ò ní ṣìnà ni. Àwa ni akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní Splash FM Media Academy Batch B Great Splash.
Please, a round of applause for them. Thank you. All right, that's just a glimpse of what we train at the Media Academy. And if you want to be like us, please, you're invited to join us. All right, thank you so much. Without wasting time, I'd like to also welcome very warmly into our midst right here. Please let me welcome the Chief Executive Officer of West Midlands Communication, our amiable leader and our boss, Mrs. Atinuke Adetunji, our CEO. Please, a round of applause for Mrs. Atinuke Adetunji. Where is she? Please, ma. Please keep clapping for my boss, I beg. I beg you. I beg you, please. Yes. Can you sustain it a bit, please, for her as she's coming? That's our CEO. Yes, our CEO. Thank you, ma. DJ AY, how are you lunch? Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much, ma, for coming. Let me also welcome very warmly here one of our directors. Incidentally, he's a SSA to the governor on ICT and e-governance, an award-winning man, I'll tell you, and won many awards for your state and a lot of awards in his kitty. I don't know how he does it, but it's an award winner. Let's welcome Bayo Akonde Jr. He's here. He's one of our directors. Please, Oga, please keep coming. Let him keep coming. Yes, come in. Yes. Can Oga be like this, eh? All right, that's my boss. And also want to welcome very warmly into our midst here the Senior Special Assistant Project to the Governor, Mr. Oluwaseun Abiodun Laurel. Thank you for coming. We welcome you. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you so much. I'm also told that the DG, Oyo State Signage Advertisement Agency is also in our midst. I'd like to welcome the DG, Oysa, in our midst. Thank you, sir, for coming. Where is he? He's up there. Yes, please, a warm welcome to him. Can we give a round of applause for him right there? He's Dolapo Esho Ajanoku. Everyone, pàtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn dáadáa, ẹ dákun, please. All right, that's the DG Oyster in our midst here. I'd like to also welcome very, very warmly a very close ally to the governor of your state, Engineer Seyi Makinde, whom we're expecting. Let me welcome very warmly an educator, a very great man indeed, Mr. Peter Eledon. I'm told he's here. Is he around here? Yes, welcome, sir. Thank you very much for coming. A round of applause for him. Yes, please, sir, you are invited up here, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. I also want to welcome the head, Department of Mass Communication, the Polytechnic Ibadan that has just been renamed as, I think, Baba Olunloyo, yes, I think it's Olunloyo. Pardon me, this is not sticking very well. But let's welcome also the acting PRO of the Polytechnic Ibadan, Dr. Soji Olatunji. I'm told that he had never missed even one of these lectures. He had attended 17. This is the 18th edition and he still attended. Please, sir, please come forward. Everyone, please, round of applause for him. Is there? Please usher him up here, please. Thank you. Please, can you keep clapping for him? I'd like to welcome him very warmly. All right, so welcome you, sir. Thank you for coming. All right, I hope okay. Yeah, before we move to the next one, I also want to welcome someone also very dear to us. Well, I'm looking for the word to describe it, but he's a Nigerian poet, an international poet. He's a poet that deserves a lot, that deserves Nobel laureate in my own reckoning. Whoever does not agree with me should go and argue with his keypad. A dramatist, a linguist, a literary critic, a man who loves the culture so much well. He was the head of department when I was in the University of Ibadan some time ago. He's still a lecturer and he's still doing very well when it comes to saying it the way it is. And since I've also known this lecturer, I've always seen him somewhere just sitting down quietly. And let me welcome Professor Niji Oshundari. He's here today. Prof, thank you for coming, sir. Thank you so much. Welcome, Prof. Baba is very happy to see you. He's very, very happy to see you. I'd like to also welcome very warmly here in our midst. He's someone also very dear to the heart of our chairman. I'd like to welcome our mother, Mama Tung Akande. She's also here, the wife of our chairman. Please, a round of applause for Mama Tung Akande. Please, and welcome her. She's right here, very much here. Thank you very much and welcome, Ma. All right, quickly, we'll move to something very important on the program. Before I call the chairman of the occasion, I'm told that Baba Oluwo Afobaje, àwọn wà ní àárín wa. Baba Oluwo Afobaje, mi ò fojú di yín o, ẹ káàbọ̀ sáàárín wa sà. Ẹ bá ń pàtẹ́wọ́ fún baba. Àwọn ni wọ́n jókòó síbí. Ẹ bá ń pàtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn. Ẹ ṣeun. Thank you very much, sir. So we'll be moving on right now. We want to welcome the Vice Chancellor, Lead City University. We want to recognize him and welcome him, Professor Karim Adeyemo. Professor Karim Adeyemo is the Vice Chancellor, Lead City University. Prof, welcome, sir. Thank you very much. And also one of our board members is here present, and I'd like him to also step up to come to the podium here. I'd like to welcome Mr. DEBO Akande. He's one of our directors. I'm told that he's here. Look at him there. Please, a round of applause for him. He's coming. Please, he's a member of the board of directors. Please, let's welcome him very warmly. Boss, I like your outfit, or long. Welcome, sir. Thank you for coming. Okay, before we continue to mention names of people, okay, let me quickly recognize and welcome the Zonal Director, Nigerian Television Authority, Ibadan Zonal Network Center. I met him here. Iterogba Taiwo. Thank you, sir, for coming. Here is the DG, the Zonal Director of NTA Ibadan Network Service. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. We appreciate you. Okay, so without wasting more time, you know, this kind of a thing is very important to do. I'll hand over the microphone to the chairman for his opening remarks before we go into the lecture proper. Please, let's make welcome Professor Jide Owueye, who is our chairman, right here for this occasion. Chairman, well, please, another applause for chairman as he's stepping forward to give his opening remarks. Keep clapping for him as he's coming forward, please.
His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde, the Governor of Oyo State, Your Royal Majesties, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today we gather once again to honor and celebrate with His Royal Majesty, Oba Dr. Murtala Adebayo Akande, the Ekarun Olubadan of Ibadan land, and his loving baby, Splash FM, which at 18 years old has certainly come of age, transforming into adulthood today. Accordingly, we congratulate the West Midlands Communications Limited, the owners of the Integrity Station, Splash FM 105.5, and its founder and chairman, Chief Murtala Adebayo Akande, the iconic octogenarian we are celebrating also today. May Baba continue to work stronger, reaping the fruits of his labor in good health for many more years to come. Let me extend my felicitations to the entire management and staff of West Midlands Communication Limited for helping to advance the noble vision of this icon that we are celebrating today. Most especially the MD CEO, Mrs. Atinuke Adetunji, the director, Mrs. Bisi Ashimolowo, Director, Honorable Bayo Akande, Jr., General Manager Operations, Mr. Tunde Olawuwo, the HR Admin Manager, Mr. Adishino Alawode. We thank all these people for helping Baba to extend this vision. Also to his supporter-in-chief, our amiable, delectable, lovable, and elegant auntie, Chief Mrs. Onikepo Akande, CON, an achiever in her own right, who regularly asks after my own supporter-in-chief, apparently in view of the Queen's School connection. We were present at your remarkable 80th birthday celebrations lately at the Eco Hotels. Very, very glamorous as usual. Auntie, we thank God for your life. Last but not the least, I want to congratulate myself as well. Also as a member of the Splash FM family since 2008. That was 17 years ago, when I was honored at the very first anniversary of the station, which was also the 69th birthday anniversary of this great icon, receiving an appreciation award alongside the great Are Afe Babalola. We were given an award based on the thinking that we appear to have done something for Ibadan land. I also recall with great nostalgia my very first encounter with Chief DEBO Akande. This was about 25 years ago. I was then a lecturer at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ife. But with my family residing in Ibadan, I was an avid subscriber to Midlands Communication Satellite TV services, enjoying CNN and other current affairs programs necessary for my teaching and research in the field of international relations and diplomatic practice. There is something we take for granted today. We all have DSTV. There was a time when there was nothing like DSTV. If you don't watch Baba Akande's satellite communication in Ibadan, there is no way you can know what is going on in the world. So thanks to Midlands Communication. I never reckoned that I will ever meet this great man in person. This eventually happened. One day, an article of mine in the newspapers on the subject of distance education caught Chief Akande's attention, and he invited me over. I went to him. He informed me of his interest in distance learning and how it can help expand access to higher education for Nigerians at very affordable cost for both the provider and the learner. He told me that he hoped to set up a radio station whose 80% content will be for educational service program. And I will quote him what he said that day. He said the radio station won't be for just jokes like Baba Salah and so on. It will be devoted to education for those who could not have opportunity to go to the regular school. And this coincided with what I had just studied in South Africa at that time. He mentioned his plans to partner with the University of Ibadan, running academic courses on air for the benefit of those not able to afford the regular university campuses. Here is a visionary thinking of others, not just himself, while predicting the founding of Splash FM and the West Midlands Open University. I think we should clap for Baba. Invariably, Chief DEBO Akande became my silent role model as we appear to share similar entrepreneurial visions in the fields of education and broadcasting. May I also reiterate that His Royal Majesty, Oba Adebayo Akande, comes across as a man of quality. Consider, for instance, the way he always chooses to celebrate his birthdays with an intellectual colloquium featuring eminent scholars and practitioners engaged in topical public discourse. So it's not just an event for Amala. We start with an academic exercise, intellectual discourse. This annual event has become an agenda-setting activity, helping to profile solutions and remedies to critical issues of our time. This year, we are again lucky that it is the turn of another high-level public service practitioner, and erudite scholar in the person of Dr. DEBO Akande, the Director General of the Oyo State Agribusiness Development Agency, and one of Nigeria's most articulate advocates of agro-industrial transformation. It is therefore with great anticipation that we await Dr. DEBO Akande's insights into industrialization of agriculture for economic development in Oyo State in particular and Nigeria in general. So I will welcome all of us to listen attentively, and of course, at the end of the lecture, we'll have opportunity for one or two questions. Thank you for listening.
Now the end is near.
Please, can we make it resounding for the chairman of this event? Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. You know, I said that he does not miss this event. He will just quietly come in and sit down and have a wonderful time, listening to the lectures. And so he's here today again with us. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of this one. Okay, so I'd like to welcome very warmly. I'm told that they are highly represented here. The Council of Ibadan Indigenes, the Central Council of Ibadan Indigenes, the CCII. I'd like to welcome the first Vice President General of the CCII in our midst, Alhaji Dr. R.S. Oyebanji. Alhaji, please round of applause for him. And please come, sir. They are always represented at this event. Always represented at this event. Also on his entourage, I have the Secretary General of CCII, Alhaji Adetokunbo Subar. I'm told that he is there. Thank you very much, sir, and welcome. As First Assistant Secretary General, Mogaji Kunle Aishodeinde. Welcome you, sir. Thank you, Mogaji. Thank you so much. And the last but not the least on this entourage is the Chairman, 2025 Ibadan Cultural Festival Committee, also a member of the CCII, Alhaji Abiola Ali, is also in our midst. Welcome, sir. He's a veteran. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for being here. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan mo kí bàbá wa tí wọ́n wà láàrin wa ṣùgbọ́n wọn fún mi ní ó kọ wọn ní òjẹ́ ń pò kọ wọn dáadáa ẹ jẹ́ ń kí wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí dáadáa àwọn ní olúwo afọbajẹ ti ilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn bàbá Wahab Pópóọlá Mọ́sádóògùn bàbá ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí mo dúpẹ́ o. Thank you for coming and we welcome you warmly. All right, so the next for us here is to listen to the message from our Managing Director, MD CEO of West Midlands Communication. Please, with a round of applause, let's welcome Mrs. Atinuke Adetuji, our MD CEO, and she's speaking on behalf of the Chairman, West Midlands Communication.
The chairman of today's occasion, Professor Ijide Oweye, a loyal friend and confidant to the Kabiyesi, the keynote speaker, Dr. DEBO Akande, DG Oyo State Agribusiness Development Agency, all distinguished members of the high table, very eminent members in attendance, and I must specially acknowledge the presence of Emeritus Professor Ni Oshundari, a giant in the literary world. All protocols duly observed. It's an honor for me to give the remarks by Oba Murtala Adebayo Akande MFR, Ekarun Olubadan of Ibadan Land, Chairman, West Midlands Communications Limited, on the occasion of his 86th birthday and 18th anniversary of Splash FM. It is with deep gratitude in my heart and a spirit lifted by joy I say thank you from the deepest part of my soul to every one of you here today. It is not every time a man gets to celebrate 86 meaningful years of life. Nor is it every day that one sees a dream like Splash FM grow, thrive, and redefine a city's media culture for 18 vibrant years. But what is life without the people who walk its journey with you? Today, I am not just celebrating my birthday, I am celebrating you. I'm celebrating you, my dear friends, family, colleagues, and loyal partners. I'm overwhelmed by the love that surrounds me, by the laughter in this hall, by the kind words that have been spoken, and by the faces that have traveled near and far just to honor me. To my friends, your unwavering support, your constant check-ins, your belief in my person and vision. These are treasures money cannot buy. To my dear family, your love is my compass. To the entire team at West Midlands Communications, past and present, thank you for giving meaning to a vision I once whispered to myself. You've turned a single frequency into a household name. You've taken radio beyond the studio. You've taken it into lives. I often say that Splash FM is not just a radio station. It is a voice of values, a companion. It's a teacher, an entertainer, and most importantly, a torchbearer. The fact that it stands today as the first private radio station in Ibadan, and also the first to stream live on Facebook in the city, is not just testament to innovation, it is proof that dreams, when backed by sincerity and commitment, can rewrite history. I stand before you today not just as a royal majesty or a broadcaster, but as a very grateful man. Thank you, and thank you for the honor, the love, and the friendship. May Almighty God bless and reward you all abundantly. Thank you.
My friend, I'll say it clear.
I think those were the words of our chairman. Doesn't that deserve more applause than that? I think so. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. The next thing we want to do is to go into the lecture very quickly. One of my colleagues will be reading the citation of the lecturer. But before then, I'd like to announce to you that this event is live on Facebook. So if you have your phone here, you can join. And for the purpose of those who are online with us, we thank you and we welcome you. We appreciate you for staying online, but it's live on Facebook. As the chairman said, Splash FM is the first radio station to do that handshake between radio and digital media and putting radio live on the live stream. And so we are live on Facebook as I speak now. You can join us there. The Permanent Secretary of your State Agribusiness Development Agency, OISADA, the agency that is headed by our lecturer for today, is here. I'd like to welcome Dr. Kolawole Badmus. Thank you for being here. We welcome you very warmly. Yes, a round of applause for him. I also want to welcome Director Admin and Supply, OISADA, your State Agribusiness Development Agency, Mr. Additional Lawal. they are here to honor their director. Yes, thank you for coming. We appreciate you. I think I've done that I wanted to do. Yes, the other thing I wanted to do is to ask, is there anyone here, maybe I'll have a gift for that person, who can tell me the title of our first 3 lectures and the speakers, those who handle these lectures? Anyone here? There's a prize for it. Okay. Michael Atibosu, lie. You are a curator of this lecture, so I'm not going to give you. Don't come. Michael is not qualified. Yes, you are not. Who? Who can tell me? My question is, the first 3 lectures, the first 3 anniversary lecture of Splash FM, can tell me the lecturer and the topic. Abba. Oh yeah, try the one that you know. Oh yeah, let's see. I'll be waiting. You can Google it. I'll be waiting. Okay, so let's welcome someone very important. She's my co-anchor on Morning Splash. She's the one we call the Global Grace. And I'd like to invite Grace Akan Francis to come to this podium and read for us the citation of our guest lecturer. Please, a round of applause for my colleague.
Thank you very much,
Grace.
Omwankiola.
Thank you. And while she is reading, I'd like the lecturer to please rise while we read.
Dr. DEBO Akande is a distinguished international development leader with over 20 years of strategic leadership experience. He leads the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, agribusiness management globally, focusing on public, private, and development institution management, industrial agriculture, rural development, and agribusiness for economic development. He has senior management experience in all 3 institutions of work, the public, private, and development sectors at the highest corporate and governance levels. As the only Nigerian member of the IITA senior management team and the director at the Institute's Partnership for Delivery Directorate in 17 countries in Africa, he leads a portfolio that includes all IITA agricultural strategies that embed private sector initiatives in agricultural development programs in Africa, including industrial agriculture, technology, innovations, mechanization, urban agriculture, and zero hunger programs. He combines this role at IITA with the position of the Pioneer Director General of the trailblazing Oyo State Agribusiness Development Agency, responsible for developing strategy, policy, designing, and implementing the state's agribusiness programs. His extensive leadership experience is evident in the successful design, execution, and management of several transformational agribusiness initiatives in Oyo State within the last 6 years. This includes the African Development Bank Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone Program for the development of agribusiness industrial and transformation hubs in 3 regions of Oyo State, WB Rural Access and Mobility Program, supporting development of over 1,000 kilometers rural feeder roads, World Bank Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Program, World Bank Nigeria Community Action for Resilience and Economic Stimulus Program, supporting close to 10,000 smallholder farmers, the Oyo State Wholesale Market Development Project, and the Youth Enterprise Agribusiness Program, among others. He is also the executive advisor on international development and cooperation for the state and is saddled with the responsibilities of leading the strategy on bilateral and multilateral relationships with Oyo State, driving foreign investment, international development, technical and financial resources into all sectors of Oyo State. In the last 6 years, under the exemplary leadership of His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde, the Executive Governor of Oyo State, and through his office, he has driven about $245 million blended international development funds into several sectors ranging from health, education, rural development, and agriculture in Oyo State. Prior to this, he was the head of the third largest IITA Research for Development Station in Africa, the Olusegun Obasanjo Station in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where he coordinated several activities of the Consortium of International Agriculture Research Center and led multiple agriculture programs, including the World Bank Integrated Program for Agricultural Growth in the Great Lake of Africa and the CGIAR Research Program on Food Systems and Healthier Diets in Africa. He was one of the 4 country coordinators of the CGIAR flagship on food systems and healthier diets in the world, and the second in Africa. He is a CGIAR Scientific Committee delegate to the United Nations Food Systems Summit engagement process. A round of applause, please. Thank you. He has led several agribusiness management and consultancy works and for and with diverse international institutions, including the World Bank, African Development Bank, Deloitte LLP USA, USAID, UK FCDO, Canada Finance, Gates Foundation, Australia Aid, and the British Council.
Round of applause again. Thank you.
Thank you. He has a doctoral degree in business administration from the United Kingdom with a specialty in agribusiness strategy development and management. He also holds master's and bachelor's degrees in international development studies from the United Kingdom and diplomas in international environmental law from the United Nations Institute for Training and Research, Switzerland, and agribusiness management from Pan-African University in Nigeria. He was trained in climate change management at Oxford University, United Kingdom, food security policy at the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations and World Bank, and negotiation, conflict analysis, and management from the United States Institute of Peace, United States, among others. He is a chartered manager and a fellow of the Chartered Management Institute of the United Kingdom. He has authored over 20 articles in leading high-impact global journals.
A round of applause there. A round of applause, please. Thank you.
Contributing to the discourse on agribusiness and international development worldwide. He has received distinct awards, including co-author of the Best Paper of the Year 2016 by the World Mycotoxin Journal. He is a proud son of Ibadan and is married to Olufunmilayo Akande, an Ogbomoso daughter. They are blessed with 2 children. Very distinguished, ladies and gentlemen, with a resounding round of applause.
Yes.
Please make welcome Dr. DEBO Akande.
Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Keep it going, please.
And more, much more than this, I did it my way.
Thank you very much for that citation. humbly received. Let me start by observing the protocol as we normally do at this part of the world, by recognizing my boss, His Excellency the Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Oluwa Seyi Makinde. And moving further to also recognize the royals that are here today. My boss always says, Oriade at your own leke. And I've learned that from him. I do recognize you. I'll go further to also recognize the members of the CCI that are here today. As a proud son of Ibadan land, I do know how much this traditional institute means to all of us. I also want to recognize the entire management of the West Midland Limited for the great work that they have been doing for these numbers of years. A distinguished scholar here, Professor Oshudare, I do recognize you. Our fathers and our mothers that have taken time to come here today as well. The media, the students that are here also, I do recognize you also. The chairman of the occasion, our own dear Professor Jide Oweye. I've had a side discussion with Professor Oweye that it has become part of the history of my life. And I was making a little fun of me in that corner. And I will quickly tell you why. I met my wife as a student of the Lee City University. So I was doing academic mentoring. But in reality, I was mentoring academically for something else. And because I know she's an intellectual herself, so I know that that would be a very good entry point for me. And it worked well. And she ended up being the best graduating student of that university in the year. She's seated there. Olufumlayo, can you just stand up? That's my wife seated there, you know. So she really come to, but this is probably the first event she will come with me in my life. She really, but she felt this is very important for her as well. Baba, I'm extremely delighted to be here today to celebrate our father, His Royal Majesty. Okay, the Akanru Olubadan. I've almost written the Ekeri designate, Baba. So let me follow what others has been saying, the Akanru Olubadan. And our mother here, Mama Onikepo Akande, CON. My wife has longed to meet with you for a very long time. You know, I know she will have been having a chat with you as she seated there. Attaining this age is a known feat. Baba Emakwe fún wa nínú àlàáfíà. Ìdára àti ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run. And to me this is very significant because I lost my father when I was very young. Okay? I was in my early 20s or 21 or so when I lost my father. Over 30-something years ago. So I always imagine what it means to have a father, you know, that grows older and that has achieved so many things in life. And seeing the likes of Baba, you know, it's a great thing for me, you know. I believe some people, when they sent probably the program out, that one DEBO Akande will be speaking. There's probably an assumption, maybe one of Baba's son or his family. This is an Akande, you know. But you're not far from the truth. Yes, not biological, but as an Ibadan son, he is my father. So I really appreciate inviting me here to be a lecturer of today's discourse. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank every one of us that came here today to listen to this discussion or this lecture, both that are physically and virtually present here today. I will not finish recognizing people without recognizing my colleagues that are here. I know they are seated at the back there. Bio and all others, you know. Your presence here shows that you share a deep interest and commitment to development discourse around the renaissance of agricultural industrialization and national development. So let me do a context setting. It is always very essential in lecture delivery. Let me provide a context to what we want to discuss today. We chose a lecture topic that resonates strongly with our country's existential situation. For several decades, as a nation, we have struggled consistently to focus on economic development and growth. And I'm very deliberate in using the word economic development and growth. Much more than often, we make a mistake of thinking that both are the same thing.
Sorry, please. Please, we want everybody to be seated. We will not appreciate movement while this lecture is going on. So our lecturer is not distracted and there is solemnity in the hall. Please, let's be seated right now and stop moving around, including the paparazzis. Thank you. Please just be seated wherever you are. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. So, like I said, we sometimes make a mistake of thinking that economical development and economical growth are the same. They are not. Even in this part of the world and on our day-to-day use, even among policymakers, we erroneously interchangeably use both economical growth and development as one area of discourse. And this has reflected a lot in our decision-making in this country. Although both are related, they are distinct concepts. Economical growth focuses on the quantitative increase in a country's production of goods and services that are often measured by GDP. While the economical development broadly implies improvement in the overall well-being of a population, the standard of living, the quality of life, and progress changes in this country's socio-economical structure. Our narrative as a country has been of the one that, one, struggles with the issue of consistent economical growth, but secondly, on how we will convert that economical growth to economical development. And that is the area where we mostly have challenges. We talk a lot about economical growth, but a nation that ensures that its economy have impact on its people will look deeply on how to ensure there is an economical development as they are doing their economical growth as well. One of the major measures of economical development, one, not all, and it's a major one, is poverty reduction in a country. If you want to check if your economical growth in a country is impacting on your economical development, you will look at what is happening with regards to the issue of the poverty reduction. I think the statistics that I have has shown to me that since 1970 up until today, we have been struggling with the issue of poverty reduction in this country. As far back as 1970, we already have 27% of our country in poverty. And I'm cognizant of the fact that there are diverse measures of poverty. You have the multidimensional, you have the absolute, and I'm cognizant of those facts. But if you use and look at all those measures as they were, we have been going down on those measures. So I won't go deeply into every of those measurements. I will just generalize and use the word poverty. 1970, we were already 27%. 1996, it moved to 46%. Even though it's currently stand at 40%, in terms of the volume of those that are in poverty in Nigeria, it's much more than the time that we're having the problem of poverty going up in Nigeria. And the time that we're also having some kind of economical growth, and we're not able to convert those economical growth to the development or poverty reduction. Indonesia economy was growing consistently at 3% average. And consistently, they were able to reduce their poverty to just 20% of their country population, while we stand at around 40% now. Today, poverty level in Indonesia stand just around 8.5%, when Nigeria is 40%. If we look at something like the per capita income that they also use to measure, while Nigeria is currently around $800 per capita income per person today, Indonesia moved from $200 in 1965 to $5,000 today. Something is wrong somewhere. That a nation that has almost similar population like us, diverse in terms of their ethnicity, have had issues of following through presidential systems as we are doing, have been able to reduce the numbers of poverty in their country, while ours are growing almost exponentially. So how did a nation like Indonesia did it? What is very clear in the academic book is that the Indonesians focus strongly on what we are dealing with today: industrialization, and much more of industrialization of their agricultural sector. Let me quickly delve a little bit into the history of agriculture in Nigeria. So maybe that is going to make us to understand where we get some of these things wrong. And as I look at all those histories, I will tell us where we have what we can refer to as the missing link in each of the history. So I will look at it from the colonial up until independence. I will look at it from the independence up until 1970s. And then I will look at it from the 1970s to the 1990s and where we are now. So, and I believe that a good number of us that are here, we probably even know in practical terms more than myself, because you were alive in some of these years that I was speaking about. As early as 1950 towards 1960, Nigeria as a nation followed a pattern. And we adopt what they refer to as the classical development economic, where agriculture was seen as a key pillar for economical development and national development. Yes, we did. The assumption during this period was that diverse surpluses from the agricultural sector, such as labor, lower food prices, foreign exchange handled by agricultural export, or forced savings on agriculture were transferable from the agricultural sector to industrialization. That idea was there. But the question is, industrialization where? Was it industrialization that is based in our country or industrialization somewhere else? And we will see that. Most policies during the colonial period were focused on issues that were of paramount importance to the colonialists rather than for our country, with the encouragement of output growth to satisfy the demand of raw materials in Britain. So all what we were doing during this period was that we were producing for another economy industrialization, not for ourselves. As a matter of fact, history told us that there was only one document that speaks strongly to agricultural scheme during that period. And that is what we know today as the Farm Settlement Scheme. I think quite a lot of us always assume that the farm settlement was established by our sage, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. No, it was established by this colonialist. It was transformed by Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And when they established these farm settlements, they didn't establish them for us to be industrialized. And do you know why I know? Majority of what were grown during that period were things that we refer to as cash crops, which we call tree crops today. They are products that were only meant to be taken away, exported as raw materials to their country, to process for what is needed for. So we missed the first opportunity in that time to industrialize. The state intervention during this period were focused on price interventions, input, financing subsidies, and produce price stabilization, organizational intervention, and all what have you. Much of state interventions, but less of private sector engagement. And what they were telling us then is that we didn't have enough of strong private sector that has a strong organizational system to engage in the agricultural sector. I believe if we had continued with our private sector since then, today we would probably have been better, no matter how bad they were at that particular point in time. So the first missing link was that there was a very high involvement of the state, less of private sector, which limits the implementation and did not allow the approach to be sustainable. And most state machineries in the developing region became inefficient during the period, and political interest overshadowed national development interest. So that was one. Between 1947 and 1954, 4 marketing boards in Nigeria were established, and they were doing well. As a matter of fact, nearly 120 million pounds sterling, over 100 million pounds sterling net, of which has been realized, was realized as a trading profit from just 4 commodities, as at then. Cocoa, palm, groundnut, and rubber were those ones that we were getting it from. But don't forget again, we're getting this export earning on raw commodities. That was a great mistake. Even though it was okay to export. But did we consider that we need to start doing the processing of those products within our own country, where you have the opportunity to be able to increase the level of labor that you can have, where the earning that you get on your product is 7 times of what you will get on the raw products? Yes, we're getting what we need to get at that particular point in time. But it's not enough to develop a nation. And by the way, at this time when they were helping us to have a sophisticated plantations on all these crops, they were telling us to use small holding for our own food consumption. So we're getting the money with one hand, and we're spending it with another hand. We should have also focused on plantation of our food that we consume at that particular point in time. So if you look at farms today that has something that looks like large or medium, they are mostly for all these cash crops or tree crops, not for the food that we consume. No wonder we have consistently been food insecure as a nation, because the system we adopted for our own food systems is not something that can feed us as a nation. So that became the second missing link. Our focus was on the export of raw commodities, small-scale processing of agricultural products, both for local consumption and export, the development of structures commercial agriculture for exportable raw commodities alone, and fragmented system for our own food system. Although there was a shift, at a point in time, we went through what they call the regionalization of these marketing boards. That would have been another opportunity for us to be well industrialized. But this shift created another problem. Because the regionalization became politicized, and rather than focusing on industrialization or developing all this product further, we see that extra power was vested in the region, but the interest in building this reduced drastically. And it wasn't too long before we started seeing even what the regionalization caused for us. Between the period that it was regionalized, 1954 and 1961, the total accumulated revenue of the marketing board was less than 1/4 of the size of the aggregated trading profit of the previous 7 years. So problem has started with regionalization. And the little money that we got from this regionalization, we started focusing on urban infrastructure. We start to neglect where the money came from, which is the rural area, and we start investing our money on urban infrastructure. Another missing link. The infrastructure development during this period was urban biased, and this became worse as the nation eventually focused and channeled all its energy to oil exploration, to the neglect of the agricultural sector and the rural area. So I'll quickly jump into the independence to the 1970s. From independence, we changed our policy. We started shifting, from the old extraction policy of the colonial era to what we call the export-led growth and import substitution policy for industrialization programs, and many others. And they were good programs. They were very, very good programs. But these programs were not geared towards agricultural industrialization. So that became the fourth missing link. The policy and the programs has impact on seasonal increase in agricultural output during this period. Yes, it does. However, the value chains in agriculture were handled in isolation with little attention to comprehensive and holistic management of rural agriculture, along with its value chain and minimal focus on industrial agriculture. 1970 to 1990s, completely dominated approach that focused much more on a public sector driven area. The use of agriculture became as an instrument of development was relegated in favor of other approaches. We got oil. So even when we have agriculture that we're not focusing on industrial agriculture, by the time that we got oil, we even relegated agriculture. And of course, we had the introduction of SAP, and I won't go too deeply into what SAP did to us. But the summary of it was that the most existing state-led support collapsed under SAP, or SAP, as it is called, Structural Adjustment Program. And the government reduced public expenditure and support for public services, agriculture was one of the most heated areas. The fifth missing link. The shift in policy and practice under SAP created a substantial institutional and infrastructural support gap for agriculture. and nothing was focused towards industrial agriculture. So where are we in the 20th century? Overall and in general, while there have been effort at times through accidental means, Nigeria has rarely been deliberate in its policy program and finance regarding industrialization of its agricultural sector. We have not at any point in time in history been deliberate on industrialization of our agriculture. Rather, we have been strongly focused on developing the agricultural sector for the export of raw commodities, as I had mentioned earlier, and support for food security. Other nations have seen economic development achieved primarily through what academics refer to as sectoral sequencing development. And this is what we go wrong. In most of the nations of the world, there is something that they refer to as sectoral sequencing development. And if you look at history of nations, most of these developments start from agriculture, and then you move to industrial agriculture, and then you start moving to other industrialization, especially for a nation that doesn't have much of the solid minerals in the world. Today, more than 50% of Indonesia export are manufactured goods, and they are mostly agricultural goods. In contrast to Nigeria, we have never risen above 10% as a country. Never, for once, risen above 10%. In the generality of our manufacturing, talk less of the agricultural manufactured goods. So let me give us some data. In quarter 4 of 2024, Nigerian agricultural export was valued at around 1.54 trillion. These were primarily raw commodities and not a single major process product from agriculture. They were superior quality cocoa beans, which was the largest agricultural export, contribute 836 billion. It was followed by standard quality cocoa beans, 269 billion. And sesame seed, 209 billion. That was all. So again, even at this stage of our life, all what we are doing was to export raw commodities. We started like that during our independence, and we are still doing that up until today. Well, if we compare that to some nations, like Brazil, a developing nation like us, they have over 72% of their products that they export as a processed product, mostly from agriculture. 72%. We pride ourselves a lot in saying that agriculture recruits quite a lot, and that is where we have a high labor in agriculture. This is true. 48% of our labor are in agriculture. But what kind of labor? Labors that are entrenched in poverty. And how do I know? The same region of this country that pride himself in having the highest labor in agriculture today, the northeast and the northwest of Nigeria, are also the same region with the highest poverty level in this country. Check your statistics and you will see that. Wage job account for less than 10% of total employment in those regions, while almost 2/3 of the population remains in famine. So it means that when we are talking about the reason why they are in poverty, it is well revealed in the kind of job that was being created in their region. While for a nation like Indonesia, a garment industry alone, they have over 1 million of their population recruited in the garment industry. 1 million. What you do as a country is not to continue to entrench your population in a poverty-driven job or sector. But you look at how best you can move them from those poverty-driven sector to a sector that is better skilled and better paid. The ability to grow and achieve economic development is based on a value addition and industrialization. And that is the key area that we have struggled with as a country. Our focus should not be on developing a workforce that is poverty-driven in just the production level of agriculture, but to move our farmers from poverty-driven micro and not even small holding to small, medium, and large scale, reducing the amount of labor in farming and shifting to a higher productivity industrial sector. They've told us smallholder farmers, smallholder farmers, smallholder farmers. I've been hearing this since I've learned what the word agriculture is. And there is nothing wrong in smallholding. Our fathers that have done that, that a friend asked me was that, Debo, so will we still be talking about smallholder farmers in the next 50 years? And those ones that are telling us smallholder farmers, design your project and programs around smallholding. I asked them, is this what you call smallholder farmers in your own countries? All the 5 states in the southeast. Oyo State is bigger than Rwanda as a country. Oyo State. The smallholder farmers does not have more than an average of 7.5. If we need to do anything reasonable with such a landmass, it will require us to bring in a new system that will complement this smallholding, as they do in any part of the world. Oyo is even better. Niger is almost 3 times the size of Oyo State, Niger State. No wonder all these enemies of agriculture were able to hide, because there were forests where they can grow, they can hide. So we can't continue with this system that they have given to us and think that we can go anywhere further, especially if we are thinking about industrialization. I've mentioned earlier, thank you, that the garment industry alone in Indonesia employ 250,000 as far back as 1990, almost 500,000 by 2000, and now they have close to over 1 million. And remember very well, these are people with per capita income of almost $5,000. Meaning that the kind of labor that they are pulling up, I'm not surprised that their poverty level has gone down to 8.5%. Because they were moving their peoples away from that sector to a sector where they could earn more, and they are industrializing their country using agriculture. Brazil, as a good example, is another developing nation with similarity to Nigeria. Again, I said we pride ourselves in the volume of people that we have in agriculture. But what kind of labor are we making reference to? Labor that are entrenched in poverty. Brazil has less than 10% of its 250 million people in agriculture, in comparison to Nigeria that has 37% of its 280 million in agriculture. Yet, in Brazil, production growth has exceeded growth in domestic consumer demand, leaving surpluses production for export. The value of Brazil agricultural export in 2022 reached $125 billion, when we are still talking about 1.5 trillion naira. So they have lesser people in agriculture. They are doing better than us. They have enough to consume. They are industrializing, and they are also exporting. Something is wrong with our practice. We have also said that agriculture accounts for a substantial 25% of Nigerian GDP, which is the measure of growth. For countries should not, that countries use as a measure of growth. But Akiwumi Adesina said something that I found very profound. The president of the African Development Bank, he said, nobody eats GDP. And that is a fact. Nobody eats GDP. If your GDP is not translating to poverty reduction, it's useless. So how are you translating your GDP to poverty reduction and economic development is what should be critical. So we kept on throwing data. Today we rebase, we have not rebase. Rebase and rebase. If it's not reflecting in my life, it means nothing. So while we are doing that, and it's essential to grow the economy, but my point is that we should also be considering how this economical growth reflects on the life of the people. And one of the critical areas to be able to do that is when we focus on industrialization, and particularly using our comparative and competitive advantage, which is agriculture, to industrialize. So what should we be doing to develop our agricultural sector that supports industrialization and economical development? I will make mention of 5 or 6 things, and I will give 2 examples, and I will close. I'm very cognizant of the fact that we have elderly here, and I won't go too much into details. If we want to read too much of these details, we have it in the lecture itself. So the first thing is that we should have a deliberate agro-industrial policy, strategy, and program. Agriculture is not just food security, and it's just not just meant for food security. Anywhere in the world that we are developing strategy of agriculture, you develop it to focus on food security as number 1. You develop it to support your economical growth and to see how best it can support your economical development. In Nigeria, our focus has consistently been on food security. I'm not surprised that suddenly we changed the Ministry of Agriculture to Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, as it is currently now, the Federal Ministry. Because what we understand that agriculture should do is just food security. And name is very important because it guides your thinking. So if what we have now is to say Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, it means that we have thrown away all others, and our primary focus is just food security. It's just a component of what agriculture can do. We should be deliberate in our policy and our strategy to ensure that our agricultural policy focuses on food security, but also for economic growth and development. We need to design policy and programs that are not just focused on food security alone. I think I've mentioned that, for sustainable economic development and growth. The deliberate action will require a strong policy drive, leadership that is not just short-term driven, but understanding it as a value chain and from an agribusiness perspective. Creating a strategy to enhance the potential at the downstream, the midstream, and the upstream of agriculture. For those that are used to oil industry here, agriculture is just like that as well. It has its downstream, its midstream, and its upstream. All what we have been doing majority of time is to just focus on the upstream alone. Production, 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 production. What about all others? The initial approach was focused on involvement of private sector in the marketing of goods produced primarily for export, rather than the participation of the private sector in the production and the processing of agricultural commodity. That should be very important in relation to our policy development. My number 2 is that we need to have a deliberate and well-channeled agro-industry financing. The guiding principle for us in Africa is what they call CAADP. CAADP means Comprehensive African Agricultural Development Program. It is developed by the African Union. I happen to be one of the people that reviewed the last one in Kampala, in Uganda. And we still retain critical aspect of this Malabo Declaration, where we requested and maintained that a nation that wants to see any significant impact on its agriculture and industrialization need to be at least putting 10% of its annual budget in agriculture. I believe I'm not going to shock you, but let me tell us that in Nigeria today, what we have as a public expenditure for the past 10 years is an average of 1.6%. When African Union recommended 10%, 1.6. And this 1.6 is less than 50% utilized. And do you know what? A high percentage of it is on recurring expenditure, not even capital. So no wonder we are where we are. One of the few countries that have been emerging significantly strong on agriculture today is Ethiopia. And they are one of the few countries in Africa that have ensured that their expenditure is above 10% of the African Union recommendation. That needs to change. If we truly believe in agriculture as a means of economic development, we need to put our money where our mouth is. We need to ensure that we adopt a more strong approach of public, private, and development institution partnerships. Should be key. Because agriculture is no longer caught and oars and cutlasses. It has become innovation, it has become technology, and we will require all this technology and innovation to build agriculture today. Let me give you an example of something that I saw in the Netherlands. I was invited by the Minister of Agriculture of Netherlands and the ambassador to just do a kind of a mission to Netherlands. And in one of the things that they showed to us, we went to go and see one of the farms. And when I got there, I was looking for people that are working on the farm. I only saw 2 people. And I said, how can 2 people be working on this kind of a massive greenhouse? And suddenly they brought out a drone. And they start flying drone around. Okay? So I asked, so what is this all about? He said, well, the work of this drone is to monitor all these tomatoes that we have in this greenhouse. And the drone will sell signal to the computer of the owner of the company in his house where he's seated. And we take the diagnosis. And it's on the basis of diagnosis that they now deploy people to the farm. I say, And they are now saying, ti bawon. Alright, ti bawon kọ́ lélẹ̀. Alright, ti bawon rárá kọ́ lélẹ̀. One of many that they showed to us. So ọmọ jókòó nlé ẹ̀. Yẹn wá download gbogbo ẹ̀ fún. Tó bá download ẹ̀ tán wá wò ení èjì ẹ̀ta ẹ̀hẹ́ YD ìwọ lọ bí, James ìwọ lọ bí, Gbénga ìwọ lọ ilé. Ẹ̀yin mẹ́ta ni mo ní láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ ju 2 hours lọ. Agriculture has gone technology and innovation, and we have a need for that. The business of government is not to engage in business. So business should sit down, government should sit down where they belong to provide an enabling environment, right policy, and the risk. Allow private sector to lead and thrive. The fourth one. There is nothing like agricultural transformation without rural infrastructural transformation. We'll just be deceiving ourselves. The rural area has been neglected for too long. And those are the areas where we pride ourselves as our comparative and our competitive advantage. Agriculture is not rural development. It is a component of rural development. People have assumed, and I've seen them saying Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, and then one will now subsume the other. You just assume that let's do agriculture and then the rural area will develop. It is not true. I've traveled wide. I've been privileged by virtue of my work to go to be in at least 38 countries of the world. And in all the countries where I've seen them develop in agriculture, the rural landscape is exceptional. As a matter of fact, I grew up in England. After my secondary education, I went to England. And I grew up in the Midland of England. Not in your London and your usual place where people go to. I grew up in a village called Bakewell in Derbyshire. Primarily agrarian. And those that you will find in those places are the multimillionaires of this world. In fact, I went to a privileged college. It's a private college. And I was the only second black person in that college. For you to know how privileged the college is. And what I'm saying here is that it shows how important their agriculture or their rural area or their agrarian area is to them to build the economy of their own different countries. We cannot continue the way we are doing in terms of the rural development and expect anything emphatically different on our industrial agriculture. We need to continue to look at the soft and hard infrastructures and build them. Agriculture is too centralized in this country. We need to decentralize to ensure that We tap into the comparative and the competitive advantages that exist in different regions. Challenges are not generic and homogeneous. Solution will not be generic and homogeneous as well. Let me give you an example again. During the Anchor Borrowers Day, we argued with then CBN that this Anchor Borrower will not work in the southern part of Nigeria. And why did we say that? The critical component that we allow anchor borrowers to work was not included in the overall policy and program of anchor borrowers. For us in the Southwest, we don't have the same vegetation as they have in the North. The cost of land clearing in this place is quite expensive. Why didn't you include the issue of land clearing in the overall anchor borrower scheme? It was not included. So how do you want then the people to farm? So this is one of the reasons why it has to be decentralized, so that we don't come up with an homogeneous policy and strategy that will not work for one region and that will work for the other. And now this always interests me, what is referred to as the consolidation of farms. I've mentioned earlier that I was part of the pool that also takes data of farmlands, and I agree with that 1 to 2 hectares of land. And majority of our farmers today are fathers that are average of 67 years old now, are the one on the farm. They've done their best with the resources and the system they find themselves. We should just be saying thank you to them every single time. But with the exponential population that we are having in this country, that system will not feed us, talk less of saying that we'll be able to industrialize. We need to start developing a complementary system to what we have now, and one of it is the consolidation of agriculture. And I'll give you another example of what happened. In the time that they were telling us to be doing smallholding, as far back as 1950, the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture then, Extra Taft Benson, exemplified government pressure to consolidate. When he called on farmers, she said, get big or get out. Fact check me. So between 1950 and 1997, the total amount of U.S. farms declined from 5.39 million to 1.91 million. Farms declined. Over the same period, an average U.S. farm more than doubled in size. Average. It moved from 215 hectares to 487 acres. We are doing exactly the opposite. Why they reduce the number of their farmers and increase the size of land per farmers? We are saying, let's increase the size of farmland, but we are still staying in 1.2, 1.3, 1.3 hectares of land. How can you compare 1.3 hectares of land to an average farmland of 487 acres per farmer in the U.S.? And you expect us to be doing exactly the same thing. Many other industries in the food system, including animal slaughtering and processing, also underwent major consolidation. Largely because of consolidation, most food production in the U.S. now take place on a massive scale operation. Half of all U.S. cropland is on a farm with at least 1,000 acres. Half of the farming in the U.S. While half of our own farm here on 0.75 hectares per farmer. Consolidation. And the last one for me is the development and expansion of agro-industrial clusters. This is what being deliberate means. And we're lucky to have a son of the soil that headed the African Development Bank in President Akinwumi Adesina, who made it as part of his priority to develop a project called the Strategic Agro-Processing Zones. And now, this will be built in 11 countries in Africa, including Nigeria. And I will speak to that a little bit more later. So, this will be my own recommendation. Many more could come from more academics. But it doesn't mean that all is dead and nothing is happening. And you may say I'm very biased with the next set of my own presentation, but it's speaking to fact of what is happening. If you have the opportunity, just look at some of the countries in Africa, and you'll be able to make reference to Ethiopia and Republic of Benin, especially Republic of Benin. I've been there 3 times this year. I've never been there until this year. I was shocked with what I saw in Republic of Benin. They are gearing up to an exceptional industrial agriculture. In fact, it's not a theory, it's in practice. If you happen to be in the Republic of Benin, in Cotonou, ask for GDIZ, and you will see the wonder that is taking place in that place. They built one of these industrial hubs that has housed nothing less than 20 industries, agricultural industries. These industries has nothing less than around 40,000 direct employee. Direct employee adds a higher productivity labor, and they are supporting not less than around 500,000 farmers in their country, focusing on critical area of agriculture. Do you know what I found interesting? Benin is manufacturing some of these branded clothes that we are wearing now all over the world. Your polo that you are wearing, that the polo brand, they manufacture it and move it to the US. They manufacture it and move it to France. So I said, so this polo that I'm paying $100 or whatever is made in Benin. I mean, we saw them. They started from cotton. We saw the industry from cotton, how they made the cotton to become this and become that. They took us through. That's one of the industry. Until they did the clothes. I saw all of them, over 3,000 of them, seated, sewing all these clothes with their machines. And they show how, as they are packaging it, and I mentioned just one brand. And so, interestingly, I went there with Mr. Led and Peter. We're there together on a mission. I opened my mouth I couldn't close it. I feel embarrassed as a Nigerian. And that's one. They've started with cashew. They are moving. The industries are there. So they are moving away from this rudimentary agriculture to more of an industrialization. But is it just Benin? No. I'm coming home. And this is where I say, you may say I'm very biased. I'm speaking to facts of what is happening in Oyo State. So I give kudos to my boss, who is a visionary leader of our time, His Excellency Seyi Makinde, who as far back as 2019 saw what many people are not seeing today. He saw the future yesterday. And he understands too well what industrial agriculture means. Under his visionary leadership, we developed an agribusiness strategy as far back as 2019. This strategy strongly focused on agro-industrialization and development of Oyo State. I have a copy of this material that you can see, the document that was written in 2019. It is a multi-pronged, deliberate strategy that focuses on developing the value chain for food security, economical development, and growth. It follows what I said earlier about the public-private and development partnership, and I will tell you what has happened to that. Where public sector has invested massively in rural infrastructure. For many of us that are not from Ibadan, that probably come from Ogbomoso, or come from Iseyin, or come from Oyo, I don't think I need to preach to the culverts in terms of the road development that is happening in that particular area. I don't need to say anything about that. But the reality is that if you have never seen it, please, I implore us to go and look more than Ibadan and see what is happening in our rural areas. The connectivity of those areas, they were not accidental. They were deliberate. It is written in our strategy document that will happen to support the industrialization. So it is not just doing roads for doing sake. It's a strategy document that we have. We want to use that to stimulate the growth of agriculture and industrial agriculture in those areas. That has taken place. Over 300 hectares, 300 kilometers of road that has been done within the state are primarily focused on the rural. People are saying road in Ibadan. I said things have been done in the rural, those areas before it even came to Ibadan at all. I believe that many of you may not think this is factual, but it's a fact because that is where I also work. It is only 6 years ago, for the first time in the history of our state, that Oyo State government signed an MOU with IITA. I feel sad about that. And do you know why? IITA has been in existence in Oyo State for over 56 years. And there has never been any government that thinks that IITA has a responsibility to support Oyo State agricultural sector and its industrialization. 6 years ago. It means that we don't have any strategic relationship. And this is an ITA that has a presence in all the regions of Africa. I am responsible for 17 countries. That's my role. And I know what the government of those countries does to have access to this ITA. And that ITA is based on Ibadan soil, or your state soil. And we never had an MOU with them until 6 years ago. And that has made a major difference for us. Because ITA and ILRI, which happened, the livestock, now backstop us scientifically in what we do in agriculture today. For me, I think that is actually very important. So when I mention public, private, and development partnerships, the public sector did their own road infrastructure, your Amotekun, we know we have to focus on enabling environment and policies, and that was why we're doing all those. And then we also know that we can't do it alone. We need the support of the international development organizations, in which ITA, your ILRI, your World Bank, your African Development Bank, your AGRA fall under. So if you've heard that HE made me agribusiness and international development, he knows exactly what he's doing. As of today, I can announce to you that we've accessed close to $170 million from international development organization to support our agricultural industrialization in the state. This wasn't the case before. And these funds are going to strategic aspect of our industrialization. And I can tell you, one of these funds is going to be used to build what we call the agricultural industrial hubs in 2 other locations in the state. Many of us have heard about Fashola, agribusiness industrial farm. Many of our fathers here are very emotional about Fashola because they knew what it used to be in those days. I implore us, if we have the opportunity, let us go back there again. You will be very proud of what has happened. The government used the money to bring back this moribund edifice back to life. And now within this place, we have 14 new industries that have never been in existence in Oyo State, bringing close to over 17 billion naira as an investment to the state. It's there. And I invite us to go and see the place. We've been able to do that. That was our proof of concept. We use that to experiment, to see where that is going. So when you see Excellency building, he's saying Oyo Fashola Road. He didn't just build it for building's sake. He told me, DEBO, as far back as 2019, where you go, I will follow with infrastructure. Where you go with agriculture, I will follow with infrastructure. And he's doing exactly that. So we have this hub at Fashola now built. Industry, as a matter of fact, you have your greenhouse producing tomato all year round in it. You go there and see this. A livestock ranch. I don't think I'm a very emotional person. But the day I went to Fashola 2020, I shed tears. I didn't know when water was coming out of my eyes. So some people had a vision, built this place, and some other people left it moribund. Some people had the vision and built the place. I heard that scientists go as far as Agenebode in those periods to support and train people from Fashola. But my joy today is that it's been brought back to life. I saw a landmark there, and we've ensured that it remain well protected for history. A ranch has been built in Fashola as far back as 1959. It's still there. We told the private sector that took it over not to break the building down, just to amend it so that everybody that goes here will know that all this useless meandering of cattle all over the place that has been happening, we have designed a modern approach as far back as 1959 here in Oyo State, having a ranch in that particular location. And if you go there again now, you will see another modern ranch housing over 1,000 cattle within the place. And these are not just any cows, okay? These are cows that those that knows livestock, we know fish, we know what it is. You go there and you see it. And we've started producing milk in this location for Friesland Campina. Friesland Campina is one of the company domicile within that Fashola Agribusiness Industrial Hub. So I invite us to go and see that. And it's not just with, there's a company that is processing cashew to oil in the place now. We have cassava. I mean, go there. And we have a company that is going to be processing tomato into plum and also tomato powder as well. I'm not saying the companies will be there. I'm saying the companies are already there. Overall, in the last 6 years, we have driven 48 billion naira worth of private sector investments in the processing center in Oyo State. 46 billion, sorry. And I will call somebody out now. He didn't know I'm going to call him. I just saw that he's here. And he wouldn't have expected that he's Baba Depoju. Can you just stand up? Baba Depoju has the first brown sugar factory in Nigeria, located in Iseyin. I won't tell you the value of that industry, but when you go there, you'll be shocked of what we have in Oyo State today. That's the first one and the only one that we have in Nigeria today. And he's able to do that. If he tells you what has happened to him with the infrastructure, you will understand what that means. If the road that the governor has been doing has not been done, Baba said he might probably have not continued with that factory. Because sugarcane gets dry quickly. And if the road is not good enough, from the distance where you are moving the sugarcane to his factory, it's going to be losing quite a lot. You can see what road has done. I'm not going to talk about so many other. Please, Baba, sit down. Let me just. It's one of those investors. In this state now, within these last 6 years, we also have the first and the only factory that is using cassava to produce sorbitol in the whole of Africa. It is also based in Iseyin. Cassava to produce sorbitol, the only one in Africa is there. One of the largest cashew processing factories today in Nigeria is somewhere here in Ibadan now, established just 3 years ago. And I'm telling you all this fact. Ask me for the addresses and whatever, I will tell you to go and see them. All these are based on the fact that we have developed a right strategy on industrial agriculture in the state, and we are putting our money where our mouth is. Again, kudos goes to His Excellency, the governor of the state. We've gone further. We are building 1,200 kilometers of feeder and rural roads. On the Amokun, on the Eruewo, Oloke Lenwe Wosale, on the Milebati Baje, Kilololo Doshe. You have a rural area where, if many of us has chosen to go into where our food are coming from, you'll be sorry for yourself. Your grain will be on the floor like this, and you will see N pulling on it and whatever, and that's what they package for us. But that's what they can do. Have we supported them with aggregation centers in those rural areas? Did we produce agro-logistics for them? How are they able to transport all those things from on farm onto the market? I always say that I challenge people, and I did it for my wife. I asked her to go on with me on a trip to Fashola, and we went there. I believe she remembered. And I said, between here and there, we will see nothing less than 20 to 30 pickup, we call it capture, that is going to carry cassava, moving it. I think we counted around 31. He said, how do you know? Because I don't carry it. And then we now move from the road from Iseyin Batambo Ibadan. I said, you will count another 20 of this one. We counted 22. I challenge us again. Every one of us should go there and place anybody there within that period of time. Then you will see the volume of what we are producing in the state. The fact remains that if those rural infrastructures are not in place, they will have been rotting in the field. Science told us that over 40% of what we are producing in this country, and probably a major part of Africa, is going to post-harvest loss. 40% of what we are producing. So if we are having 40% loss, then what else is left? So we say we are food insecure. We'll be food insecure if we don't concentrate. This is also supporting smallholder farmers, as I've said earlier. Enabling environment being established. The government is de-risking, and that is one of the things that is interested to all this private sector. The risk means that we're putting our resources in some of these government established, like the Bank of Industry, so that bigger industries or medium industry can go there and access some fund at a reduced interest rate. I know this is not enough, but of course the government has also put some money in the Agri-Credit Corporation of your state for smallholder farmers and the medium as well. We have supported nothing less than around 45,000 smallholder farmers. And do you know what I do? It is not like the usuals, when they will say, throw figures. And I will tell us a small story. I collect the data of every single farmer, biometric and their high risk. So nobody can tell me a lie. During COVID-19, we needed to support 10,000 farmers. And we threw out the request to everywhere. Everybody started giving me data. By the time we got data, we got 33,000. And I subjected the 33,000 to an external reviewer within that period. And I know Excellency has told this story several times. By the time they reviewed, we only got 7,700 genuine of the 33,000. No wonder. All those lie they have been telling us for ages. And do you know what we do? It's very basic. Kabi onilere, ekpele, wale engbeni lora. Iboninje lora. Page lora le engbeni. Ero, Abuja la wa o. Emi akpere ni DEBO Akande. Etugbo DEBO Akande. Akande DEBO. That's what they've been doing for us for ages. We needed 10,000, don't forget. So we didn't even get enough. So I thought I've done well. I thought I've done the best that I could do, and we distributed the support and the input for all these 7,700. And one day, the African Development Bank team came here, and we were having dinner with His Excellency and the team. And we were just laughing. I said, DEBO gave me 7,700 data. I heard that they went through a very robust system to develop that. And he thought I would just sit down and accept what he sent to me. Do you know what he did? A spot check. He called a good number of them by himself to confirm whether truly is one fertilizer that DEBO gave to you, or he has divided it to two. He confirmed by himself the number of sticks of cassava that were given to farmers. And I just look at him like this and I say, I thought you trusted me. He was just laughing. That, well, I have to provide stewardship to the people of your state, regardless of who and who is working with me. I will tell us another one. And I'm happy two of my staffs are here that are working with me in Oiseda. So, we're to support with fertilizers as well, because we still support the smallholder farmers. And one of the things you support them with is fertilizer. At that time, I think they were selling fertilizer for around 23,000 naira. And then somebody came to me and said, Oga, I'm at 17,000. I got very confused. 24 genasi, 17 per bag. So I called one of my friends that I know is a businessman. He's doing agriculture quite from the business angle. And he said, "Why going to go buy rebag lang pe yen o. Rebag. Etun ni kan to tun je rebag. Oni be ni." Okay. So I called this individual. I said, "Put the phone. I want one primary distributor in the state." He gave me 3 names. I said, "Call them in my presence." Elulenta fertilizer. I think one said 25, one said 24, one said 24. So Oroba 23 mo, Koba 17 mo. Something is wrong somewhere. So I'm a scientist. I requested for random testing of that fertilizer. I took it to IITA in our laboratory to test. Fertilizers are supposed to be 20, 10, 10. Abi? Maybe 410, 120, 702. That was all the fertilizers that we were supposed to be supplying to the state. were complete nonsense. If they had gone ahead and supplied that fertilizer, if I got the seed system wrong, which means that rather than giving you seed and they give you grain, the agronomic practices is wrong and the climate change give problem. In fact, your yield will not just stay the same, it will go down. So no wonder what we have been seeing all this while. And do you know the interesting thing? Just 2 weeks ago, they needed to supply fertilizer for us again because now it has become enough. So I sent it to Excellency and it was like, DEBO. So this is what we've been getting in these days for this long. Because somebody that is greedy will have been so happy with that 17,000 and get a market up ni abi. Awak ba 7 naira abi lo alarin. Trailer deni. So awak ma ko yen sapo aso fún ìjọba pé 24 la ṣe. Awak gba lówó ní 17 ade ko ro fún àwọn èèyàn wa ta la ntan. Kì ṣara wa ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. So science is very important. So like I was saying 3 weeks ago, another supplier came. So it became a norm. And I took the sample again and did the analysis. Lo and behold, it was also a problematic fertilizer. So it's not a one-off thing. It's become consistent. So if we didn't adopt that kind of a scientific approach into agriculture within the state, that would have been a problem. The reason why we are able to adopt those scientific approach was because a part of our strategy that we have developed for agribusiness in the state, industrial agriculture was key to us. And we understand where science stands and innovation should help. For the last one, I think we all need to mention that while I said that our elderlies, the people that are currently in agriculture now, are getting old, around the age of 67. What do you do to bring in the younger ones into the fold? So we're already gearing up towards that. Not yet perfect. We need to do quite a lot. When the next couple of weeks now, you'll be hearing that we are supporting 1,000 of them that has had their own enterprise with around 1.5 billion naira. This is a partnership between the states and FCMB. And when this is being done well, then we put them on the layer of people that can get a higher loan, and then they have the 3 years that they need to have, and then they can start having support from our own banking system. So what has this done? I don't know many of us that know this, that Oyo State economy, we use GDP or is it revenue they call it, has grown by 300%. 300%. And this is not my data, it's not my fact. If you go to the Federal Inland Revenue, you will get those facts as well. In the last 3 or 4 years, 300%. And primarily supported by agricultural sector. I think that means that we have done something right and well within the state. In addition to that, today, whether it's a good news or something else entirely, Oyo State generated the 3rd largest VAT in the whole of Nigeria for the whole of last year. Oyo State. And that shows to you that we are building what is called a real economy, in the state. Those that are ahead of us are Lagos and Rivers. And I'm not surprised. Rivers is Rivers, oil is there. Lagos is Lagos, commerce. But what are we doing in Oyo State? The state that is next to us, number 4, on that list, we were 200 billion above it. The number 4 state that was next to us. Go and check the Q1 and Q2 of this year again. Oyo State is the 3rd largest VAT in Nigeria. So, I've mentioned we are going to be establishing another 2 agribusiness industrial hubs supported by the International Development Organization. In the next couple of weeks, you will see us doing the groundbreaking of one at Ijaye. And that will be the grand agribusiness industrial hub. It will house over 40 industries, agro-industries. And we are building it after what we saw in the Republic of Benin. Irua is going to have another one that is going to have close to 10 industries. Other regions we have as well. Maybe the person that comes next will be interested in that. But we will be able to do 2 under this dispensation. This industry will support direct employment of over 100,000 people, 500,000 farmers, and moving farmers from micro to medium and large farmers. Supporting import substitution development. And again, we are developing what is called a wholesale market. Yeah, I was in France with His Excellency to see a place called Rungis Semaris Market in France. This Rungis Semaris Market alone has a annual turnover of around 18 billion euros. And do you know what that means? It means we are losing so much in this state. And I know that they said I have less than 5 minutes. Yes, I have less things to say as well. Just like 2 months ago, Excellency stopped 5 trailers. Anybody that knows him knows he's a very granular individual. He does things sometimes randomly. And he saw brand new trailers that were driving out of our state and stopped them. He said he thought they were solid minerals that were in them. And you need to understand, how are you moving things out of my state that I don't know? Lo and behold, by the time we checked, there were cashew of 5 trailers. And they were Chinese people. In fact, the company that came to move the cashew, the company is registered in Kano. Okay? So, he said, okay, where are the documents? What are the things that are given to you to move? And they presented original documents. They didn't violate any law. And by the time we look at all the documents, all what we made as a state government was 75,000 naira. Benny. And each of these trailer is worth 60 million naira. Okay, of cashew. By the time you multiply it by 5, you know what that means. On the basis of that, Excellency said he wants the Ministry of Agriculture via the Commissioner of Agri to give him the data that they have of what has moved out of your state, cashew-wise. Of course, we have produce a place where they get all some of these data. And by the time we saw that, within 5 months, a cashew of close to around 47 billion naira has moved out of your state. The old what we made in that place was no more than 50 million naira. So, something has to change. It means because we are all just trading in raw commodities and we are not looking at industrialization, it's easy for anybody to just come and take our cashew and move it. Can I give you a shocker? Ogbomoso cashew is the best anywhere in the world. If you are looking for anybody that is trading in cashew, I'm telling you, whether in the Vietnam or anywhere, they will ask you, is that an Ogbomoso cashew in the world? And yet, all what we are benefiting is a meager sum. This wholesale market will make a major difference. Because what will happen going forward when this is built is that we will have accredited aggregators that could only go into farm and aggregate. And you bring your aggregation into the wholesale market that we have built as a state. And you can only come and buy as an external person from these aggregated places. There, we will have control and we have traceability. That is part of industrial agriculture. We are doing that in the state. And some of us have heard about airport that is upgrading. It's not just upgrading airport. It's not just doing international. It does things deliberately. It is based on fact and data that we have about our agro-industrial revolution. When it happens, and they are processing. If you want to process for trade, process for trade. You move out for export, move out for export. Where will it go through? So, that is one of the reasons why we are building that as a cargo airport. If you note very well, the circular road that was conceptualized by the KBC, Ladoja, was being built by him, and that circular road has a spur towards the airport. It is also deliberate. This circular road is linking into all the hubs that I've mentioned where you have industry. By the time you have 40 industries, you know what that means in terms of trailer movement. Is it inside Ibadan that they will be coming into it again? So you have to create a system that is ready for that. This is linked to the rail station that is built by the federal government to make it a cargo rail station that goes into Apapa. And we also have a dry port close to where we are building the industrial hub. So these are all planned, designed somewhere we have, and I can share that with you. Every single thing we are doing in this state today, as far as agriculture is concerned, is coming out of a written strategy and is building Oyo State Hub into a formidable industrial agricultural state in Nigeria. If Oyo State continue in this trajectory in the next 7 years, it will become the first subnational in history to be sustained using agro-based industrialization in this country, with the highest indices of economic development, including poverty reduction. I am extremely humbled to have delivered this lecture on this epic occasion. I once again congratulate Baba and thank him for inviting me. I will not go without paying homage to my boss, His Excellency Oluwaseyi Makinde, for allowing many of us to stand upon his shoulder to fulfill our dreams by serving our state with development and growth. Splash FM, keep on shining. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Oyo nire lójú mi. Thank you very much.
Regrets. I think it deserves a standing ovation. I think it deserves a standing ovation there. All right. Thank you very much for being a good audience. Please be seated. Please be seated. I'll hand over to the chairman of the occasion. He's going to take it up from here and then direct the proceedings. We also have time for question and answer. Chairman, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm sure that it won't be out of place if we give Dr. DEBO Akande another round of applause. He has touched on very important areas as far as agro-industrial development is concerned. What he's telling us is we have agriculture, but we are not linking it up with the industry. So this will make us perpetually growers of raw materials, and we'll continue to export rather than producing. The people we are exporting to are not in love with us, and we shouldn't expect them to be in love with us. It is when they exploit us that their own society grows. So they need that exploit. It is us that will have to look for solution to our own problem. And he said something very interesting, that we talk about GDP. But this GDP doesn't put food in people's stomach. And what we really need to do is to ensure that whatever we grow, instead of sending it out, let us use it for our own advantage, our own development. And that is why we have so many resources, agricultural. And yes, the farmers are in the majority. But the farmers are not looking well. They are not doing well. There is poverty in the rural areas. And this is extended to the urban areas as well. So there is a need for us to produce and industrialize so that we can also become what you call developed countries. We are going to give some time for questions. And I'm sure my brother will handle that for me. But before going there, I would like to ask the very first question, if you don't mind. The speaker said something about government has no business in business. This I also agree with. But the problem is that there is no government, there's no business bigger than government business. Therefore, people want to be involved in business when they're in government. Even when we know that it's not going to take anybody anywhere. I'll give you some example. I remember that in the early days after apartheid ended in South Africa, the new black government which captured political power, they decided that the white has dominated agriculture. They have all the land, and they are in the minority in terms of population. Whereas the black majority didn't have land to farm, to operate. It was the whites that was controlling the land. The thinking was that if the blacks could have that large amount of land, they too will be able to produce what the whites have been producing. That is, they'll be able to industrialize. But at the end of the day, it was found that this was not the issue. The government set up what you call like People's Bank, whereby the black who need land, will borrow money, just like all those ones you have here too. They will borrow money to go and buy land. All land should be on the market. This was Mandela. He's not the guy in Zimbabwe who seized land from the white men. This one didn't seize land. Said they should be on the market. You borrow money, you go and buy land. And then the land you didn't have before to plant, to farm, you now have land, you can now farm. But what happened at the end of the day was that these people went to get the money, the cheap loans that were given to them. As they were getting onto the land, they found out that being a successful farmer goes beyond being able to say, I just want to farm because people are farming and farming is doing well. They didn't know what the white man was putting, the effort he was putting in for farming to be productive for him. At the end of the day, many of them, the proceeds that they should use to continue to transform their farming business, they want to live in big houses like the white man. So they will spend the money on houses. They want to drive nice cars like the white man. So they'll spend the money on buying cars to become like the white man. I mean, some will even take extra wives. So the thinking really is, at the end of the day, the white men who had given up land to be bought by these black people were now being asked, would you like to take this land back for some amount? So those blacks were now selling it back to them because they are the ones who have succeeded in producing out of the land. Let's now take that back to Nigeria. As the speaker was saying, you have all these facilities, Anchor, Borrower, this and that. Those are not the issues. People like Baba Adepoju are the ones that will take us there. People like Nii Foods are the ones that will take us there. It is not government business. All this signing agreement with IITA, getting money from African Development Bank, you'll find out that we'll see end up looking at GDP and the reality of producing agricultural products for our own benefits, turning it into empowerment rather than poverty will not happen. So I want to throw a challenge to him as somebody in government that don't you think that the Baba Adepojus, there are many of them in town. There are young people who they pack gari, only God knows how they do it. They pack gari, they export it. You get to Texas, you find it in the supermarket. There are people like this around. Why don't we have a policy to seek out these people and create an enabling environment for them so that they can push rather than expecting that it is government business that can bring about development in agriculture. I mean, we all saw what happened in the last few years. We have agriculture, we have mineral resources, particularly oil and gas. For over 30 years, they made us believe that we could not refine oil at home. We will sell the crude to them overseas. Chevron and Shell will bring back refined oil to us. And they will tell us that it's not possible to do it here. But a single individual, Dangote, for whatever was his problem, why he couldn't just deal with his cement, and so I don't understand. But for whatever is his problem, he delved into the idea of, I can have a refinery. And I'm sure people laughed at him. But quietly, There was no anchor bora to give him money or anything. But quietly, this man went ahead and did for us what we never thought would happen. In fact, lately, he has ordered about 4,000 trucks, telling marketers, you don't need to come to any tank farm. Just stay where you are. We will bring the fuel to you. That's an individual. The federal government of Nigeria for over 30 years couldn't do this. And they were spending our money on turnaround maintenance, so billions this year, so billion that year. So I want to challenge Dr. Akande as somebody in government that those infrastructural development that the Oyo State government is doing is going to be helpful in linking the rural and the urban area, and in the airports where these things can be taken from the rural areas to other places. But at the same time, let us see how we can focus on those individuals who have blazed some trail. Let me refer also to Kabiyesi. When we say what was your business in setting up radio stations, maybe FRCN is there. The BCS is there. But you see, what those stations have done, they haven't done a quarter of what Splash FM or Lagelu FM has done. There's always people in society who will, for reasons best known to them, maybe they are not busy or something, they will just go and pick up an issue, and people will be asking them, is it not the duty of government to be broadcasting? I was told about one of the first schools in Oyo State or Western region by Chief Oyeshino, the Ibadan Boys High School, City Academy. I was told this school started in the 40s or so, 1946, 1938. People were asking him, what is your business? So school is for government to set up, or the CMS people. Why are you setting up school? But some people just have some God-given vision, and it is those people that will deliver society. We have them in the Western societies. Those who develop America, the railway, the mining, the everything, they were individuals, not government. So I want to reiterate that let's find a balance between what government can do and what the private sector should be encouraged to do. So let me hand over to you to help us handle the question and answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Prof. Thank you. Please, can we give him a round of applause again? Appreciate him for that. Okay, this is 2 p.m. It's 2 minutes past 2 p.m. And if we say we're going to take questions from everybody here, we might not go home today. Let me start by saying we appreciate the speaker, the keynote speaker, the lecturer. We thank him for a wonderful job he had done. We appreciate the details in that lecture. For those who do not have the lecture booklet, please, you can scan the QR code and it will give you access to that lecture. And so you can have it. Particularly for our young people, please, you can scan it and then you have a copy. Now, we're going to take the question. So please don't thank the lecturer again. I have thanked him on your behalf. I've thanked him on your behalf. So please, let's just take the questions. I'm going to take one question from each seat rows because of time. We don't want to stay here forever. Just from one each row. If there's a row that is nobody that is asking questions, I'll move to the next row. And then we can take one from this side of the aisle. I've seen you, sir. Thank you. So from this side, Michael, anybody from this side? I move from there. Anyone from this side? Please give to the lady.
Thank you very much for this privilege. My name is Adebukola Osho. I'm a law PhD researcher at Leeds City University. My question is, I see a lot of intentional purposes in what Oyo State is doing, and I'm very happy because my area of study is agribusiness, food security, particularly focusing on women. But I do not hear any intentional purposes for women. Women plant 70% of food that you and I eat, and our laws and our policies are gender neutral. Please, sir, can you look into more intentional purposes so that we can access land, we can access credit, because without credit you can't access land, and we can also access extension services. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Because I do not have anybody from that row, I'll give a man here, that man in suit, standing. Please give it to him. Please just ask question W and H.
By the grace of God, I'm a farmer. But problem I have is that I don't have money to support my family. I have people in the government that can be my guarantor. If you ask me to mention their name, I mention their name.
Don't mention their name.
Okay. My own name is Pastor Adeniki Michael Arulu JP.
What's your question?
Question is that to get loan to finance my family.
How can he get loan to finance his farming activity? Thank you. Here. Yes, lady. Please give to that lady at the back. I'm being gender sensitive. That lady. Yes, Michael, that lady.
Where is she?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Please give it to her. So that my PhD researcher will not think I'm biased.
Good
yes,
afternoon,
lady.
Sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Jola Dora Oluwashun.
Welcome.
After listening to your lecture today, sir, being the second lecture that I'll be listening to, I would say we would like to have more people like you who, sorry, sir. So, we would like to have more people who are truly grounded in the epic position of government. So my question is, what is stopping you from contesting for the position of the governor, sir?
Is that part of the lecture? Okay, thank you. Okay, give it to him. Mommy.
Thank you, sir, for the lecture well delivered. My name is Abraham Oladosu. I'm an adept listener to both Lagelu FM and Splash FM.
Thank you.
They are my choice.
Thank you.
My fear is that when you are out of this assignment, working with Governor Seyi Makinde, what will come out is this program will not be derailed by people that are coming after you. Okay. So, because that is a generic of what we have in Nigeria.
Thank you.
No continuation. All right. Then again, the second thing added to that is that our problem, when you are narrating now, you are mentioning Ogbomoso, our land has been sold to the land grabbers, the development, that is what we are hearing on the road every day. No land in Ibadan area again for development.
Okay.
What are you doing to stem that? Then another one.
No, it's okay. No. Thank you. He has asked two important questions, and I would like to reiterate the sustainability of this program. He's asked that question, and also the availability of land because of the actions of the developers. Yes, Emma Mbaba.
Ẹ ti ní ká má kí àwọn.
A ti kí wọn sà.
Ẹ ti kí wọn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Àdúrà wa ọba wọn, ẹ̀mí wọn gùn.
Àmín.
Alhaji Chief Suleiman, ọmọ Bọ́lá ni wọ́n Ọlọ́run ṣẹ́gi.
Kábíyèsí bàbá.
Àlàmú oríjàjọ ogun.
Mo rí yín lónìí.
Yes, thank you, Seun. I have a lot to say, but I know you will not allow me to talk. But one thing I want to say is this. I am begging Our Excellency, Seyi Makinde, to intensify his action on security. In fact, there was time I asked, who is the hero of Igaga? Nobody told me the answer. And I said, it's Engineer Makinde, because of his security sensitiveness. If farmers are not safe in their farm, how would they be able to bring their products? And others will bring their cattle to eat their production. Please, I want the government to try harder on it. In fact, if Amateco can be transformed into state police to man the rural areas so that our farmers can live and work in peace. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, Baba. Mr. Olatubosun, please give to this woman in blue apparel. Please. I feel that my share want to be my jacket was all alone. Emma Kinyon.
Mi Kinyon. Orúkọ mi ni Abigail Adeboye alias Igbelowowa. Bàbá wa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ gbogbo ntẹ́ bá wa sọ látàárọ̀ pátápátá. Kí ni solution tí ayé àgbẹ̀ òfin ní zigzag mọ́?
All right, thank you. So I will come to him. Hello, there's no director of NTA.
Thank you very much. That was very, very incisive. Actually, my name is Taiwo Motayo Iterogba, the Zonal Director, NTA Zonal Network Center, Ibadan here. That was a very, very incisive one from you, sir, Dr. DEBO Akande. More grace to your elbow. Actually, my question was almost already answered, but I still need to retreat it. Because I was wondering, when we are talking of industrializing agriculture, we have so many people that are peasant farmers, and naturally they will need support. They could grow into producing in a mechanized manner, just like Baba Adepoju, I think we said. Probably at the very start, he was not equipped financially and he got support. So the question there is to retreat further. How is Oyo State willing to support the peasant farmers to go into mechanized farming so that we can achieve industrialization in Oyo State as we so deep? Then the second one really, it has to do with the media, because I represent the media. And it is that, how do we intend to partner? Because we need support of everyone to showcase the agricultural revolution in Oyo State. That is the private, the public broadcasters, including my constituency, which is the NTA, because we have an international arm where we can project programs and policies that have to do with agriculture in Oyo State. And you can even bring in, why not, people from across the world. When we are visible to them, they may be interested in the agricultural revolution taking place in Oyo State. So how does Oyo State intend to partner with broadcasters, print media, private government, including my constituency too? God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay. That's right. But before you give anybody there, please hold on. The question that the Mama in Blue asked is about the life of the farmers. That are you concerned about the life of the farmer, that they will prosper, that they will not live and die in poverty? That's the question, sir. I hope you have noted that. Yes. That man at the back, that last man at the back, yes, give it to him.
Thank you. Sir, you mentioned it in your lecture that this part of the country is tropical. We have three. Okay, sorry. Sir, what are you doing? The opportunity you have now is a privilege to advise the governor. Each time the government spending money to improve agriculture. Now, there are some machineries. It's a pity I'm not here with my phone. I will have shown you some of these machineries that the government can import to the state that will help farmers to clear the farm. Is a serious problem. And I've seen machines that can, squeeze the trees right from top till the root. What are you doing, sir? Another one.
You mentioned. Odito, thank you. Oh, Eshe, thank you. Please give Edmond Obilo the microphone. Edmond Obilo is here. Please give him the microphone.
Thank you, Seun. Recently, I was with Dr. DEBO Akande. He took me around Fashola Agribusiness Transformation Hall. We spent about 4 hours within that hall. And from what I saw, that's my second time of going there. I went there in October 2023. After the governor told me what he was doing, I went there to see for myself. So I gave Dr. Akande another 2 years to see if there will be some magnificent changes after 2023. And I can confirm that something is going on in Oyo State in the agricultural sector. I'll be releasing the videos soon. If you cannot go to Fashola, you can come on my social media pages. From next week, you'll begin to see some of the new developments within that hub. But having said that, there's still room for improvement. And I believe that the initiative that the government will take with regard to Ijai, once we are able to turn around Ijai, I can tell you as a journalist that we are on the road to agricultural revolution. So, Mr. Akande, I will say well done, but I still feel Fashola is yet to hit that 90% level. We can hit it. I know we can. So keep at it. Well done.
Thank you, Edmond. Thank you very much. You know, I am a student of inclusion. There is a visually impaired person here. Please give the microphone to him to ask the question. He's there, the man in suit.
Thank you. My name is Olumide Gbadebo. I'm the DEBO that normally called from Akala Express on some of your program, the namesake of the guest speaker. The guest speaker differentiates between economic growth and economic development at the beginning of the lecture. And we've seen some of the agricultural growth that is going on done by the state governor. So my question is, when will Oyo State people enjoy agricultural development? When will the agricultural development be felt by the Oyo State people? When will we going to buy gari at a lesser price than we are buying it? We can see the agricultural development here and there. I mean, agricultural growth here and there. When are we going to be benefiting, buying goods, food at very cheap price? When are we going to benefit from it?
All right, Debo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debo. Thank you very much. Please, go to the high table. Go to the high table. And then the last person you are coming to is here.
Thank you, sir. I want to go straight to the point.
Yes, sir.
Without, the lecturer made mention of cashew development in Oyo State, to the extent that Womosho is producing the best quality cashew nut. I want to ask, sir, because of this industrialization in Oyo State, what is the position of Eleyele cashew nut industry? It has been moribund for longer period, which it has no, attention by the government. If this Eleyele industry, cashew nut industry, if there is a partnership, probably there could be an arrangement how government will partner with an investor to ensure that moribund industry is still functional. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, the last person here, Mommy. Question, Bolodo. You have Mommy microphone here.
So, Prof, I have an orchard garden at home. So, I want to ask you if I'm not too old to become a farmer now. And how do I go about it?
Brilliant question. Thank you. Very great question. So, Dr. Akande, we have to go through these questions now. Mommy, do you want to have a question? Okay, Mommy has something to say there.
Mine is not a question. It is a comment. Well-researched paper, Dr. Akande, and eloquently delivered. Oyo State government is proactive on agro-industrial development by the transformation of legendary fashola farms. I saw it on television yesterday. I will try and visit the place. This is truly industrialization of agriculture. As a former minister of industry, I believe that industrialization is the key to economic development, employment generation, and poverty alleviation. You spoke extensively on this, and I was really, really interested in your speech. I congratulate our visionary leader, the Oyo State Governor. Please let him know that we appreciate what he is doing in Oyo State. Thank you.
Thank you, Grandma. Thank you very much, Ma. Okay, that's it. That's all the question that we have. But, Dr. Akande, there's something that I need to tell you. Some people said that, where can they direct their questions to after this event? Because we can't actually ask all the questions. So you can help mention if there's a line that they can direct that question to, maybe social media or something that they can direct that question to. Second thing is that some people said they want to hear what you have said in Yoruba. If wala yeti, if you was silagelu at the splash, ke wa son Yoruba. Mo wire abi wire. Dr. Akande fún wa ní àsìkò tí wọ́n wá sí splash at Lagelu, tẹ́ wá son Yoruba. Ẹ ṣé sà. Somebody asked me a question and said, is it possible for Fashola Farm to produce food that we can eat in Oyo State?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And everybody, thank you for asking the question. Do I stand up, I think? Yeah. Okay, I think I can stand up. I think the first thing is to mention that Fashola is already producing some of the things we are eating in Oyo State. Okay? All what is being produced in Fashola today is meant for local consumption. People do make that error. So a good number of what you are seeing in terms of tomato that you are buying at ShopRite today is produced from Fashola. Okay? So, and many others as well. But so you can go to Fashola and buy things. I then also need to mention that within Fashola, you also have a place where we are developing highly generation materials that farmers can use to plant on their farms. More than, I think, 10,000 farmers in the state today has benefited from that materials. And what do I mean by that? I want a guitar thing being a get for a very long time near Oyo State. Not just Oyo State, Nigeria as a whole. Want to maybe almost 15 to 20 years. The older you get, you degenerate. Okay? So on land low, to ba pé as yield tari lórí oko kò ju 6 tons per hectare, 3 tons per hectare lọ. But iṣẹ́ táwọn IITA tí wọ́n ṣe nìyẹn, wọ́n produce new generation materials tó dàbí ọmọ tuntun. You understand? And when you plant it, then you have a higher yield. So at it develop in Fashola, and it distributes here for over 10,000 farmers in the state. If you want it, you can always get it in Fashola. It's not an exclusive place, so it's there. Yes, orchard farming is part of what we call urban agriculture. And yes, you can, and you can engage. We can have that discussion as to what we can do to support. International purpose for women. Having a purpose for women. Yes, maybe I didn't mention it because I have a limited time. We have what we call, one of the industries that I mentioned today. So you have an icon. Mrs. Yemisi Iraloye owns Sultry. That factory that I said is the first sorbitol factory in Nigeria that is producing cassava and producing sorbitol from cassava is a woman. And by the way, you need to go and see how much the state has spent to do a road. You understand? To be able to, because what we do is infrastructure for all these private sectors where they are established. But I didn't want to go too deeply into that. The second thing is that just last week, I was in Iseyin with Kabiyesi, and we did a closing of a project called Watia, and you can Google that as well, WATEA, sponsored by the French government for your state. 1,000 young ladies were trained from Lautech and Oiskatech. 1,000 people. 80% of them were women. Okay, and this project means women for something agricultural, technical, vocational, and education. So we are deliberate about women as far as agriculture is concerned within this state. The young people that I mentioned that were trained in the state, 30% of them were women as well. Fact check all this and you get all those facts there. So we are very, very deliberate. Money for farmers. Please, the person that mentioned that and any others that wants to have access to such a finance, I implore you to go to a place called Agri Credit Corporation of Oyo. If you have any issue with that, Mr. Badmos, can you stand up? Please, all those that are talking about the issue of support for finance, if you meet the criteria, speak to Mr. Badmos. He will guide you through to meet with the GM of ACOS. And that is the agency that has been created by the state to provide finance for smallholder farmers, not even any big farmers, okay? But please meet the criteria. Mr. Badmos, just wave your hand there. He's the permanent secretary of my agency, and I can link you up. Security, of course, we've spoken to that, and you are right, Baba. We need to do more. But we need to see that today, it's a competing responsibility. We have a governor that probably one of the most prudent that I've ever seen in my life in terms of finances. And finance is not unlimited. We have limited finance. So if you look at Amatekun today, Oyo State, has been the one that has invested the most in Amatekun in terms of the numbers of people, in terms of the vehicle, in terms of the equipment that they are using. But the icing on the cake is just for us to also know. It's in the news now, so I can say it. 2 helicopters has been bought now to do surveillance, okay, across the rural area. And the primary reason why it was bought was to be able to do surveillance across the rural area. So we can dictate humans in the forest and all those kind of a thing. You need a sophisticated system to now know, because these people, how they even know our forest? You understand? So we need to now put in a more robust system to work with them. But I don't want to go too much into the depth of security system, as to what is being done. But that has been announced for us to know. So we've spoken about the LLA cashew industry. It's a problem. Problem because the equipment there is now obsolete. Okay, at the private company, we met a lobby. Lati local, Lati what they said is equipment unfortunately for us, So what you want for too long. So what you call one. That's what I can just say about that one. In terms of continuation, see or zigzag. But ona Latin bere say nkan ti baje tipẹ́. So etan ṣe nsin la ise bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe díẹ̀ láti tún nǹkan ṣe. Ina bí àmì witness ipe ọ̀nà oko nsin wọ́n ti ń da díẹ̀ compared to bó ṣe rí tẹ́lẹ̀. You understand? But policy ata tí wọ́n ń lò ní Ọ̀yọ́ State gan, and most of the places in Nigeria leni is policy almost 15 or 20 years ago. So we are working on that policy now to see how best we can make it a more standard policy to mainly support modern agriculture bá ṣe engage. Ẹ má gbàgbé pé mo mention lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé without rural infrastructural development, kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ agricultural development. Ọdún wọn náà ti kọjú sí rural area wa gbẹ̀yìn until now when this is being done. But if we form part of our policy in agriculture now, that percentage of our annual budget goes into rural development. Abẹ́rẹ́ sí máa rí nǹkan tí a sọ wọ̀nyẹn láti support wa láti máa ma ní zigzag tá a sọ. Of course, somebody spoke about a tractor. I don't know what you know about Oyo State project on subsidy on tractorization. Okay? Project wà tí ìjọba ti ń subsidize a tractor fún àwọn àgbẹ̀ lórí oko. Tí ẹ bá tí máa benefit ń pa ẹ̀. Again, ẹ bá arákùnrin tí mo dá orúkọ yẹn sọ̀rọ̀. Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development ló ń handle ẹ̀. Ó túmọ̀ sí pé àwa ò ra equipment, and I will never advise that tractors be bought by the public sector. It's a waste of money and resources. But we let before our under. So why don't we encourage the private sectors in every regions of the state to be doing this thing? Why the state subsidize what the private sector is doing? Cheaper fún how the magic monk no one tractoration lorry field and governor meeting pẹ̀lú nínú wọn dùn sí wọ́n ní yẹn gan pé àwọn because ẹni tí ò bá ní ṣe pé ó fẹ́ ṣe tractoration lórí oko tòótọ́ kò ní pé ẹni tó bá ṣe tractoration kò wá sórí oko kò dẹ̀ ní san 50%. So that is also possible. Speak with Mr. Badmos, as I've mentioned. I think the final one is about media. I own up that we need to do a lot with the media, and we will make a more of effort in that particular area. Looking at this, I think I've covered almost all.
Where can we direct our questions?
Pardon?
Questions after today. Where can they direct the questions?
So the question after today, I don't have it on top of my head now to give you the number on, but again, meet my permanent secretary. It will give you the contact of where you can direct. There's a website, there's an email, there is a phone number. We also have an agency called Oyo State Agri-Business Development Agency in front of Bank of Agric. If it's a physical question that you want to send it to us, you know, and one for any email, one for any number, all those things that you can use to communicate. Again, we are doing all these things, and I also own up and I agree that we need to do much more like Mr. Ebilu has said. You know, I can for any example, and I will stop with that one. Agba data kan lọ́wọ́ Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Ẹ má gbàgbé pé Ministry of Agriculture and Development yìí wà ń bẹ̀. Oysara is just complementing it to focus on big and larger investors in agriculture. Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development yìí support smallholder farmers lọ, and why they continue nìyẹn. So agba data lọ́wọ́ wọn, àwọn produce àwọn tó ń pa data lórí produce ní state. Ní Ìbàràpá lásán within 6 months. Agba data pé 11,000 tons of cassava. Ni wọ́n move kúrò ní state wa. 11,000 tons of cassava translate to 44,000 bags of gari. Kani gari ni kada fi ṣe. Just one spot láti gba data yẹn. Tabawa gba ní gbogbo produce area tó wà ní state ńkọ́. It shows you the volume of nǹkan oúnjẹ tó ń jáde kúrò nínú state yìí. Àwọn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa báwo ni oúnjẹ ṣe máa di pé kan tó cheap lọ́dọ̀ wa tó, you know. In economical analysis, ó ti show pé gbogbo nǹkan tó ní advantage lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan bí náà ló tún ní disadvantage lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ mi. Because we are the primary producer of food in the southwest now, ọ̀dọ̀ wa ni gbogbo everybody ń wá from almost every other area. And what you will see is that you will start having a high food inflation. What that means is that àwọn tó ń tajà ń rówó, àwọn àgbẹ̀ lẹ́ni, a good number of them, they're making quite a lot of money. They can't deny that. I have those statistics. But it's not translating to cost of oúnjẹ fún àwọn èèyàn. So we are bringing in a policy in place to do a little bit of a control of what is moving out of our state to ensure that we don't have massive food moving out of the state. But of course, we are in a federating system. Let's stop one completely. So that's what is happening. But we are working on that. Thank you very much.
So fún mi bóyá báwo ni wọ́n dàgbẹ́ o, wọ́n làwọn fẹ́ di àgbẹ̀.
Àwọn mọ́kọ́ address. Okay. That is possible. All right. It's part of what we call urban agriculture in the state. Okay. You know, and we can discuss around that.
Thank you. A round of applause for our speaker. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the event is not over yet. We still have 1 or 2 things to do. We still want to have a presentation of award to our distinguished personalities here. And we're also going to cut the cake for the anniversary and take photographs. So please just bear with us. I will invite the General Manager Operations for West Midlands Company to step forward for his remarks before we move into the presentation of awards. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Tunde Olawuwo Alex Ferguson.
Thank you very much. Please, I would like you to give yourself a resounding round of applause for being here again today this year. Thank you. Thank you. Let us also not forget that this event is to celebrate 2 things. we are focused on the 18th anniversary of Splash FM, but we must not forget about the 86th birthday celebration of the founder and proprietor of West Midlands. Our father, His Royal Majesty, Oba Dr. Murtala Adebayo Akande, MFR. I think it is safe for me to say the Ekeri Olubadan designate of Ibadan land. Happy birthday to you, sir. You have celebrated the 86th. You will celebrate 87th, 88, 89, 90. If you believe it will celebrate 100, say a big amen. And to our mommies who have made his life a jolly one, two-term former minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, always looking radiant, Dr. Mrs. Onikepo Akande, OONCON. Thank you very much, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you. Mommy, Mommy Tohun Akande, want to specially appreciate you for always being there. And we're happy to know that you are an upcoming farmer. We wish you all the best in this farming endeavor. Thank you. To the chairman of this occasion, Professor Jide Oweye, what can I say about him than to thank you very much for being a loyal and dependable friend to our chairman. Let's appreciate Professor Jide Oweye. Very unassuming, very humble. I remember when we started to run the jingles for this event and we introduced him as the founder of Lee City University. He said, no, that is against our protocol. Well, the chairman governing council, Lee City University. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I want to specially appreciate our cerebral keynote speaker this afternoon, Dr. DEBO Akande, DG of Oyster. Let me read this one-line message that I got from a friend who was monitoring this program from Lagos. He said, Dr. DEBO Akande is a very hands-on, practical, and sound man. He has answered a lot of the questions around the medium and long-term plans of the state in commercial agriculture in the state. He said something else that I wouldn't want to add because I don't, so that it doesn't look like I'm campaigning. He said, make him the next, you can finish. To all our partners, with a heart full of gratitude, I stand before you today on behalf of the entire West Midlands Communications family to say a big thank you to everybody. Today has been a beautiful blend of celebration, reflection, and inspiration, marking 86 glorious years of our revered father and founder, Oba Murtala Adebayo Akande, MFR, and 18 incredible years of the radio legacy he birthed, Splash FM. To all our friends, partners, and esteemed guests who join us to honor our chairman, your presence today has made this celebration truly special. We are thankful for your kind words, your prayers, your goodwill, and for taking the time to be part of this historic moment. To our media colleagues and fellow broadcasters, thank you for standing with us over the years as collaborators, critics, and cheerleaders. You have helped Splash FM become not just the first private radio station in Ibadan, but a trusted voice and cultural force in Oyo State and beyond. To the staff, past and present, and I have a whole lot of them here, please, if you are happy to identify with West Midlands Communications, can you give yourself a resounding round of applause? Splash FM, Lagelu FM. Thank you. That is also your dedication. Your creativity and your passion continue to fuel our story. Thank you for believing in the dream. And to our listeners, the heartbeat of our journey, thank you for staying tuned, for growing with us, and for making Splash FM not just a station, but a home. As we bring this memorable celebration to a close, may the joy of today echo for a long time in our heart. May our chairman continue to age in grace, and may West Midlands continue to soar to greater heights. As we rise from here, not just with gratitude, but with renewed commitment to standing for excellence and to another. Thank you, and may God bless you all. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Please, a resounding applause for our General Manager Operations, West Midlands Communication, Tunde Olawuwo, the one and only Alex Ferguson. Thank you, Mr. Olawuwo, for that. Amadohati, we thank you. We thank you so much, ma. Thank you, everyone. We're coasting home. It's time for us to do the award ceremony. So I'll invite our dear mommy to come and help us present this award. We have three distinguished people that we are going to give the award to today. And we are going to start by giving the chairman of this occasion. Let me invite Professor Jide Owueye to please step forward as he takes this award. Chief Mr. DEBO AKANDE, please, we want you to help us do the honors of presenting the award to our awardees today. Please, a round of applause for the chairman as he's stepping forward, and to Mama as they are both coming forward to do this. As the chairman, Governing Council, Leeds City University, and also our chairman of this occasion, as I invite Mama to please help us in giving this award.
The promoter of Splash FM, Kabiesi. Yes, please. Kabiesi, His Royal Majesty Oba Adebayo Murtala Akande, MFR. The guest speaker, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure on behalf of Splash to present this special recognition award to Professor Jide Owueye as the chairman of this occasion. Professor, you are a great supporter of Splash. You are a great supporter of our family. We are extremely grateful to you. And to your wife, I recognize you as well. Congratulations, Prof.
I think we can make it better. A round of applause for Professor Jide Owueye, the Chairman, Governing Council, Leeds City University, as he's been awarded this day. Thank you, Prof. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you, Professor. Okay, I want you to step forward a little bit. Yes, Mommy, join him. All right. So while we're trying to do that, I'd like to say we want to invite right now to the podium here for the second award, and it's going to none other than this erudite scholar, the man who gave us the 18th anniversary lecture. Mommy, don't go yet. The 18th anniversary lecture of Splash FM, as well as the 86th birthday of our chairman. Please let me invite very warmly Dr. DEBO Akande to please step forward as he receives his award at this time. Thank you. Thank you. So after receiving the award, I'd like his wife to please join us here. Mommy, please join us. Please do join us.
I'm waiting for the wife.
Okay, she's coming. A round of applause for her as she's stepping forward. Don't forget that the speaker told us that she was the best graduating student in that time. And everybody scholar that, yes. All right.
Thank you. Dr. DEBO Akande, congratulations. I thoroughly enjoyed your presentation. Congratulations. Your state is doing a lot in respect of transformation of agriculture to industrialization. And industrialization is the key to economic development, employment generation, and poverty alleviation. Well done. Please tell the governor to continue the good work. We are very proud of him, and you too. Thank you.
A round of applause, a big one there for Dr. DEBO Akande. And the last but not the least, mommy don't go, grandma don't go. The last one now, is to none other than to the man who has been the engineer behind the re-engineering of Oyo State, and is none other than His Excellency Engineer Oluseyi Makinde, the Executive Governor of Oyo State. Is going to get an award now and is represented by none other than the SSA project, Oluwaseun Abiodun Lawal. A round of applause for Our Excellency Engineer Makinde. Please, a round of applause for the Governor of Oyo State. He's representing him at this award.
Your Excellency, the visionary Governor of Oyo State, the people-oriented Oyo State, the hard-working of Oyo State. We are so proud of you. You came prepared for the position, and you are making us proud in Oyo State. You are being represented today by your SS project. Please give my regards, our regards, on behalf of Splash, to our Governor, His Excellency, Governor of Oyo State, Oluwaseyi Abiodun Makinde, FNSE. Congratulations.
A round of applause for the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Oluwaseyi Abiodun Makinde, FNSE. Thank you very much. All right, that's it. It's time for us to do the cutting of the cake. Mommy, you can't go and sit down yet. We're going to do the cutting of the cake now. And I would like to invite the chairman. All right, so I'd like to invite Mama Doherty to help us with the cutting of the cake. Yes. Okay, so members of the high table, Kabiyesi, sir. Kabiyesi, our chairman, will be coming forward for the cutting of the cake now. Can we get him ready to come for the cutting of the cake?
Lord, praise the living Jesus. Solo ala Nabi Karim. Ebolon Tobi. Eyumbo Anobi. We're going to cut the cake. All of us are going to participate in cutting this cake. God had been so wonderful and gracious to Kabiyesi, and it's God that has been doing wondrous things in his life. When they called me to come and conduct the cutting of the cake, what the Holy Spirit gave me was that we are going to spell favor. And the favor of God will be sufficient for you. Favor has taken you to this far and has kept you. And it will never leave you by the grace of God. when you are 100 years, we are going to cut your cake. And you not lose any of your children. Your wife will not die. You won't lose your loved ones. And you'll be progressing and going stronger and stronger in Jesus' name. All of us, we are going to stand up and spell favor. Favor has kept him. The Holy Spirit gave me that word, favor. And the favor of God will not depart from you. Kabiyesi Akande. It shall be well with you in the morning. It shall be well with you in the afternoon. And all the days of your life, the joy of the Lord will continue to be your strength in Jesus' name. Favor. In American spelling is F-A-V-O-R. V-O-R. But in British, F-A-V-O-U-R. So we are going, because we are all British. Praise the Lord. Can you give me F, A, V, O, U, R? Favor. The favor of God will be sufficient for you. Please let all of us sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Kabiyesi. Happy birthday to you. Then you will point at him. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you, brother. May the good Lord bless you. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly. Congratulations, no. And so say all of us blessings. And so say all of favor. And so say all of us.
Ṣe kókó. Ẹni ọdún bàbá láyé ó yẹ kó ṣọpẹ́. Ẹni ọdún bàbá láyé ó yẹ kó ṣọpẹ́. Ọlọ́jọ́ ìbí.